Beehive Sports Podcast is powered by Swing Juice. I've said it once. I'll say it 1,000 times. What's the next great season, Sketty?
Golf season, and it's knocking on the door.
It is knocking on the door. So head on over to Swing Juice. Use promo code Beehive20. 20% off your order. They got some sweet polos, all sorts of other shit. Get on in there. I like everything I've purchased from there, so I believe that you would too. If you enjoy listening to us ramble about sports, you might like the clothes that we wear. Right?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Today, the season finale of season one. Season finale. Yeah. Final episode. We're going to take a month off. I've explained this the last few episodes, but we'll get into that a little bit more. Sketty and I are going to give our Super Bowl thoughts, and then we're going to invite in, we're going to be posting the link in the comments to join. And you can come on in on video and share your thoughts on the Super Bowl and an array of other things. We're going to talk about the halftime show. Then we're going to get into quarterbacks on the move or who could potentially be on the move and the best fits where they could end up. On this week in sports history, we're not doing 5 facts. We are doing one story, and it's going to be the 1987 Southern Methodist death penalty story, which is pretty cool. In the things that sting, we have Eric Kay's guilty verdict came in today. We're going to get into that a little bit. Adrian Peterson charged with a domestic violence issue. There's some stuff going on with that. And one that slipped through the cracks, Justin Bannon, sentenced to 16 years in prison, former defensive lineman for, I think, Baltimore and maybe Denver. So we'll get into that. Yeah. And then in my hive, it's kind of a wide open slate, but we're just going to talk about what to look forward to in season 2. Other than that, not a whole lot to get to. Let's go.
Welcome to the Beehive Sports Podcast. Here are your hosts, Joe and Sketty.
The final season finale opening segment is brought to you by Napoli's. I would say hungry watching the game. The fucking games are done. However, Napoli's serving great pizza is not done, so you can still head up there, pick up or delivery 7 days a week, 814-723-7455. Do not stray away from Napoli's for Pizza Hut. It will be the worst mistake you ever made in your entire life.
I got some Napoli's on Sunday. And shockingly, it was really quick considering they were like slamming busy.
Stupid busy. Yeah, I saw
yeah, and they were, I think, about an hour. And it was premium. Very good pizza.
Saw the post that they put up on their page where they were like, "Yeah, be patient. It's worth it. Yeah. Worth the wait."
Oh, it was. Yep.
So after tonight, obviously, like we said, we're going to be taking about a full month, I suppose, off. We're going to reconvene for a St. Paddy's Day episode to kick off season 2. So what's the plan, you might wonder? Tonight, like I said, the link is going to be posted in the comments here momentarily. We're going to go through our thoughts on the Super Bowl first. I'm going to get that link posted, then people can start joining in, and we'll hear their thoughts as well. Yeah, month off. Team meetings. That's the plan. Yeah, during the month, team meetings. We're going to have I think we're meeting with Moon. Moon has some interest in doing some shit. So, we're going to just kind of revamp and go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm looking a little less forward to that meeting after the game.
Well, he's going to be slightly less excited to talk. He's coming on tonight, so you're going to maybe you'll get that out of the way tonight then. But I guess we shall see. You're a little frozen. Are you there?
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm there. Yeah, I was getting a little janky. Okay. I got you.
Yeah. You got what? You borrowing Miles' internet or what?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I told you I can't hotspot on my phone right now, so we're at the whim of Atlantic Broadband.
Real quick, gonna pop up our video. We had I think 6 finalists for the T-shirt winner that chose the Bengals. +4 and under 48.
Yep.
We had and this time I have it so the video won't crash. So stand by, watch the video. We won't be able to talk during it, but here is going to be the winner. Tim Zaffino, congratulations. So I'll get in touch with Tim. He won himself a T-shirt for the Bengals, or the Super Bowl same game parlay over under in the spread. He picked correctly and won on the wheel. So congratulations, Tim. We'll get that T-shirt out to you. I think he lives in Nashville.
No.
I might have to find an additional sponsor just to ship it there.
We'll figure something out.
Yeah, we'll do a fundraiser. All right, so let's get into our thoughts on the Super Bowl. And while we do that, I will get that link posted in the comments. So you want to go ahead and get us going with Super Bowl reactions?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was kind of texting you throughout the game, and like I said, I think that this game was kind of had a lot of ebbs and flows to it. You know, it looked like the Rams for the first quarter were totally out game planning the Bengals. I don't know if they're outplaying them so much, but everything they wanted to do worked. They got whatever they wanted to do. You had the injury to OBJ, I thought was huge. I mean, the Rams looked like they just stopped at that point in time. I think he was well on his way to Super Bowl MVP if he doesn't get injured. The Bengals kind of come back a little bit. I thought Zach Taylor kind of figured some stuff out, or I thought he did, running the football a little bit. And then they just completely blew it in the second half. I think what happened in the second half of that game was unexcusable. I think the Bengals were the better team, and they just blew it. They blew it in the play calling, and McVay had his team prepared. Rams capitalized and pulled out a late win. I just don't know how you run the football 3 times in the third quarter and 5 times right up until the Burrow injury when you weren't stopping the Rams pass rush at all. It was mind-boggling to me. But credit to the Rams coaching staff for taking advantage of what was given to them.
So yeah, and I think the big story following the game that we've been seeing for the last few days was the refs, of course. But I think the refs were legitimately like a model of what they've been all year, which is inconsistent. So there's nothing changed. Like you just had to expect. That's the way it was going to be. They obviously missed a huge call on T. Higgins. They missed a huge call on Ramsey. So and then in the final drive of the game, if you looked at a guy wrong, they're throwing a flag. Like to me, that's A to Z what we've been seeing all fucking season from NFL refs.
I think I told you, the one on Cooper Kupp on the sideline in the end zone there, that was definitely pass interference. If you want to call that, I get it. But the way they officiated that whole game to call that hold on Wilson on a third down stop, like that was just blasphemous to me. Like, what are you doing calling that there? Like you set the tone for 58 minutes how you were calling the game, and then you come out and call that. Like that's not why the Bengals lost. The Bengals lost because the play calling, I feel. But man, that was just horrendous. Just puts a spotlight on, like you said, the inconsistency all season long that we saw. Just horrible.
Yeah, and people are agreeing with you in the comments. One thing that I was laughing about that I shared with you when we were texting the other day was that all these people online keep saying it was a bullshit pass interference call, and it wasn't pass interference. So half these people don't even know what the fuck they're complaining about. So another thing I wanted, just a couple notes that I wrote down here. And this is something Dave Sherman actually texted me like 2 weeks ago and was like, how have you guys not brought this up yet? Eric Weddle.
Yep.
Came out of.
I think we talked about him briefly.
I don't remember talking about him. I just like it's.
Oh yeah, 'cause
let him in tackles.
I was bitching about. I was bitching about how he just magically joins the team before the playoffs or week 1 of the playoffs, whatever you want to say it was.
Well,
but yeah, he comes out of nowhere, and
I don't know. I thought it was cool though because I liked Weddle. And another couple notes. Did you know that Tom Brady's career is surrounded by Rams Super Bowl wins?
which is bad news for the Rams. Hopefully he comes back in another 5 years because they're going to probably wait that long to get another one. Donald retires, big problem.
Well, according to what I've read, Donald and McVay retiring, it's not going to happen.
Well, see, McVay, I would be surprised, but Donald, what's he got left to prove?
Donald said, "Let's run it back," so they want to run it back. That's the plan.
That's risky, I'd say.
So Stafford, I'm happy for Stafford. Oh, look at who we got here.
Oh, I've been waiting to talk to this guy for weeks.
We're bringing him in right now. Matt Ramage in the house.
What is up? I'm on my phone, so hopefully it's still good.
No, yeah, it's fine.
Yep.
Nice to have you. Thanks for joining us.
How you guys doing, man?
We're doing okay. We're just going through our kind of notes and thoughts about the Super Bowl and crediting a few things here and there. I'll tell you what, the one thing that I mentioned at the very beginning that I think you'll probably be on board with. The refs, a lot of people were complaining about the calls towards the end of the game or the missed calls earlier in the game. To me, that was like a model of what we've seen from the refs all season long. So like nothing changed.
Yeah, it was weird with let me move this stuff around a little bit. But
yeah, you're good.
It was weird that how they called it at the beginning versus the end.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There was some sketchy stuff, but I don't know. That's the NFL, man. Like sometimes
that was kind of my point. Is it's just like that's the way it was all year. They would, throughout the course of the season, there was games where they were calling everything, and then they missed something super obvious, or they're not calling anything, and then they call something like the holding call, on whoever who was the linebacker, Wilson. Yeah.
So, I felt like that ref was like, "This game is almost over, and I didn't get enough TV time, so I'm gonna need to get my
right."
Very few penalties.
Yeah, to me it was. I was irritated, but I was going hard for the Bengals, so like I was biased because when I go for a team, like if I'm rooting for a team, if I'm watching the Bills play whoever, and I want the Bills to win that game, like I'm rooting for the Bills almost like I root for the Packers. Like when I root for a team, I'm all in for that 3 hours or whatever.
Yeah,
I wanted the Bengals to win, so. I was extremely biased, but that game kind of irritated. But I mean, good for Stafford. I ain't got no hate for Stafford, even though that video from the Super Bowl parade was a little sketchy.
Here, hold on. Well, since you mentioned it, look at him go.
He was like, "Peace out." I want no. I mean, and I hope that lady's all right. I saw on Twitter that she. Has a back injury.
She broke her spine.
Yeah, that's just,
no.
I wasn't sure if that was for real.
Yeah. So I just saw too that she's that the Rams and like the Staffords and all these people pitched in money and they're like taking care of her, of course. But yeah, I saw that video too today, and of course the internet being the internet, they're like totally this is a bad look for Stafford because he does she falls and he just beelines away from her.
Yeah, he was like. It would like he thought he pushed her. He was like, I don't want no part of this.
Yeah.
My thing with my opinion on it is he shouldn't be canceled or killed.
Right.
But I think he and I would assume he feels the same way. He should have went like this, hey, help, we got some hurt over here. He shouldn't have just walked away. But obviously he wasn't gonna jump down there and save her. But he still should have showed some concern. He showed it was he saw something he's allergic to. He was I'm outie. He's allergic to bees and a bee was flying around. And he was just I'm out.
Gone. I agree with you though. I think he was probably hammered because I think that. So he's probably just oh shit and peaced out. I don't know. Yeah, I don't hold any judgment for him. His wife took care of it.
Kelly probably threw a pretzel at her first, so he's like, "Fuck it, you did it. You deal with it."
She must have fired that thing because it knocked that woman right off the stage.
Yeah, it was like
Knuckle checker.
I think it was a bad look, but I don't think it's anything like he, should be like killed for whatever. But
Yeah.
because like there's so many people around, they got security all over, and all those people came to help her. But I still think he should have like stayed there, like at least like because everyone's looking at him, he could have like waved and be like, hey, or like, are you okay, kind of thing. Like not anything really except for what he did, unless he would have jumped on her. Anything short of that, he should have done.
Couple things real quick before we get to, because we're talking about the halftime show for sure. But the one last thing I want to talk about before we get to the halftime show, Joe Burrow played a very nice game. Sprained MCL, I believe, was what happened. He continued, fought through. It's a Super Bowl. You got to let it all hang out. Like I can't fault him for that. I still stick by. Sketty knows my true feelings on Joe Burrow. I can't stand him. It is not. I'm never going to say he's bad because he's a damn good quarterback. He's good. I just don't like the guy. I just can't. Although he kind of won me over a little bit with the introductions to Von Miller and Donald and who else? Who's the last one? There was three of them he introduced himself to.
I saw that video, but
it's a cool video. It's like, it shows him being a little bit humbled, but the suit he wears in and everything, I'm struggling to like him, and that's just me. I'm not. Anybody else can feel the way they want to feel, but
I love him.
Do you?
I'm with you, Matt.
Yeah, I like that.
I'm with you.
I like that swagger. Like I don't know. Maybe it's because I could never be that. Like Cam Newton too. Cam Newton's got the big hats. I think it's cool. Like it shows like personality. I mean, he's not the same as Cam Newton because like Cam Newton, like he wears some stuff, which I think is great too. But yeah, but I feel like he's just loving life. He's having fun. I like a little bit of arrogance. Like what's his name, dude? Oh, Jair Alexander. I don't know how I forgot his name. Yeah. But for the Packers, when he first got drafted, like there's all this like videos coming out, like he's very swaggy, he's very confident, borderline cocky. I like it. I like guys who are a little bit. But also, like on the field, they're not like that. That they're just they have fun. On the field, like you seem like how you say, "Hi, my name's Joe." They're like, "Yeah, we know who you are, dude." Like, but to each their own. You know what I mean?
It was cool. It was cool. Though. I like that. One quick note about Joe Burrow too. So this was another little stat that I found via CBS Sports. Each of the last 16 quarterbacks to lose their Super Bowl debut have not made it back to the Super Bowl. So that list includes, it goes way back, but most recently, Jimmy G, Jared Goff, Matt Ryan, Cam, Colin Kaepernick, Rex Grossman, Matt Hasselbeck, Donovan McNabb. Like I said, it goes way back. You're talking Steve McNair, Chris Chandler, Bledsoe, Neil O'Donnell. So it goes way back. But yeah, so that is also kind of a skewed stat, though, because look at the guys who were in it. Like you had Roethlisberger, Manning, and Brady were representing the AFC for
ever
2 decades.
Which Burrow's going to have that problem now, though. Like,
and you're right.
And Herbert and Allen and Burrow, Lamar Jackson. Does Watson end up over there? I mean, it's going to be. It can be wild. It's going to be tough for any of those guys to really carve it out.
Yeah, he's going to have a tough time getting back. I'm not going to say like he'll definitely be back because I thought Aaron Rodgers would be back, and he's obviously what he is. But yeah, the AFC is stacked. It's stacked for years to come. So yeah, we'll see about that.
Halftime show. Darren's just joining us. I'm assuming did you see my shirt and you felt the need to wear a Dodgers jersey? Is that what's going on here?
No, honestly, I didn't see it at all, but I knew I had to sport it for you because I knew you'd like it.
Yeah, I love the Dodgers a lot. All right, so halftime show reactions. We'll start with Darren since he just hopped on, and we'll head to Matt, Sketty, and then myself. Go ahead, Darren. What are your thoughts on what we watched at halftime?
It was average. I mean, it played a lot on nostalgia for the millennial base of fan base for the NFL, and that's really the only people who are out there saying that it was the greatest halftime show they've ever seen. Them and LeBron, he was all for it right off the bat before it even started. And
we don't care
yeah.
about LeBron's opinions on this show.
I know. I'm here for you, Joe. I'm bringing up everything I
know.
Like.
Hey, Matt. So you might not know Darren. Darren's in our comments all the time every week. He's become like our look up a stat guy. Like if we're talking about something and we can't figure out the answer, we're like, Darren, look it up, and he'll put it in the comments, and we're like, all right,
dude.
With the exception of anything of anything about Steve Young.
Right, correct.
Yeah.
I need one of those guys because I don't know anything. They would stay busy in my show. That's put them on the payroll.
So, Matt, halftime show reaction.
I actually loved it, but because I'm old.
Yeah.
I'm 42 years old. And then that's why I feel like every halftime show has an audience that they want. Like, usually it's like everyone, even if it's boring, it's like some pop singer jumping around. But like they want like a certain like audience. I think this one they were like, hey, let's get all the old people who like not old because I'm not that old, but I think that's what they want, like the 40-year-olds who grew up listening to Snoop and 50 Cent's not that old, but it's all in the same thing. And I still listen to that stuff. Like I love music 50 Cent. I love Snoop. I mostly listen like to 90s rap, or like not even 90s rap, 90s music.
Yeah,
I don't really listen to like new age stuff. I not just like 90s on 9. I love that. And that's just like a mix of everything. Anyways, that's unserious. But I thought it was good. Like I don't usually watch a Super Bowl halftime show. Usually halftime, it's not something who really interests me. So like I go and get beer, go to the toilet, do whatever I got to do. But I'm not something I'm like glued to. Where like everyone's like, I can't wait to see it. This was like the one I wanted to see because I wanted to see like what they would do. There are people I listen to, like I still listen to today. But like I think the initial reaction, like this is the greatest halftime show ever. I think that is like, and I said it at one point, so I ain't gonna act like I didn't say it at one point. But I was hyped up. But I don't think anyone can really say the best because it's all about like Prince. Everyone talks about the Prince halftime show, but someone who doesn't like that, I wouldn't say it doesn't like. I don't know who doesn't like Prince, but like someone who maybe that genre just isn't their thing, they're not gonna think it's the best. Someone who doesn't like rap or like listen to Snoop or even know who he is, they're not gonna think that that's the best. So I think it instead of saying the best, you should say your favorite because someone might have liked Justin Timberlake. A lot of people can't stand him. You know what I mean? So it's like entertainment wise, I guess you could say, but there's a lot of them that were entertaining. I didn't really see them, but I saw like the replays because every year doesn't matter. The halftime show is gonna get killed. Like everyone. Yeah. Usually, this one I don't think it was as angry as a lot, but everyone's so angry. Like on Twitter, you like during the halftime show, you check Twitter, everybody is like the worst thing that's ever happened to them. Like like someone punched their grandma in the gut. They're so mad. But anyway, I thought it was good. I loved it. I wasn't dancing. I was sitting on my couch. People were all like posting videos of them dancing. Like, no, I'm not gonna do all that. I'm not gonna. I was chilling on Sunday. I had a lot to drink Saturday. But it was good though. I liked it.
Yeah, Scotty.
Yeah, it wasn't quite the train wreck I thought it was going to be, but I still thought it was pretty. I would even say below average. Like I love all that music. I wanted it to be good. I thought Snoop was really good. Thought Snoop was like the one shining light in the show.
He was like the only one lip syncing.
Yeah, what's that?
He's like the only one who lip synced.
I didn't think he lip synced at all. I thought Eminem was lip syncing. I know Dre and 50 didn't lip sync because they were terrible, but like
dude, they were
to me,
great.
man, this was like watching Michael Jordan with the Wizards. Like you're like, yeah, I want to really, really like this, but it's just not the same. And if you think it was, you're lying to yourself. Like Dre was not good, 50 wasn't good, Eminem was lip syncing. But if Snoop wasn't lip syncing, they should have made everybody lip sync because I thought he was like the one shining light in the whole show. Like and again, I love all that music. The song selection was really good, but just I don't know if rap is just not good live anyway. But like it was just very, very lackluster. I thought, slightly better, but lackluster.
Yeah. To me. So I'm siding with Matt here. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. The only part that has bothered me since is in the aftermath of everything is like all these people talking shit on 50 Cent because he gained some weight. It's like First of all, if you want to talk shit on a guy who's been shot like 9 times and lived, by all means, go right ahead. But that's not an avenue I'm going to travel. But realistically, like my point, and I think I've heard a lot of people say this, was I want to see a picture of those people who are talking shit on 50 Cent. I want to see a picture of them from 20 years ago. And let's see the comparison and what they look like now compared to what they looked like then. Like, he's a celebrity. He's in his 50s. The guy, he's gonna get bigger. He's gonna get out of shape. That's life, man. It's how it goes. Like, we're not, I mean,
Plus, Can I say something? I don't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
But like, did you see like where he had to like walk up, pulled himself up, and like did the whole thing? I mean, I'm not saying like nobody can do that, because like people who are fit can do that and they do that type of stuff. But like people like me cannot, and like people who are talking trash, I bet a lot of them cannot. Like he just like walked up, pulled himself up, hung upside down, and that's why I think he was lip syncing, because his age, I don't think that he can go upside down and do all that. Like if I was upside down and someone helped me, like I'm not breathing. I'm not gonna be able to rap a song, let alone, you know what I mean? Like, so that's why I think he was on that part. Plus, I don't think he's very good live, anyways. I've heard, but I love 50 Cent. Anyone who's calling him like fat, especially he's like so rich, like it's ridiculous. Like the businesses that he's in.
I got the like the 50 plus crowd who was like, that's a bunch of trash, Well, like when I was in my early 20s and the Rolling Stones were on the stage, I was probably thinking the same thing. Like, who's this? And this is the first halftime show I can remember that I enjoyed since Red Hot Chili Peppers. That was because I'm with you.
I remember that one.
Matt, I'm with you. I'm like 90s. I don't stray away from the 90s genre of music. Rap, rock, all of it, like very often. I do like some classic rock and stuff, but no, like the stuff that's out now. I mean, in 20 years, we're going to be watching the Island Boys on a halftime show, and we're all going to hate ourselves. So
I will turn the TV off. I refuse. Even like all this like new rap, like everybody has the word Lil before their name. Like I always make fun of my kid. Like you listen to him, like little Iggy. I don't even know what these dudes' names are, and they all say the same. Like, it's just like I can't do. Maybe I'm just old. But
they had Kendrick in this show, and half of his bit he was just making noise. Like for the
he was trash.
Kendrick Lamar was my least favorite part of the.
He was such an outlier out of the entire crew that was performing.
It was strange.
I couldn't figure out, like, they had Mary J. Blige up there trying to dance, and I felt like it was like Ben Roethlisberger trying to play quarterback this year. It's just like, man, you can't move like that anymore. Just give it up.
They found her one of Beyonce's outfits to put on. I see that.
Yeah.
It looked exactly like Beyonce.
You guys are cold.
Welcome to the Lions Den, Matt. Nobody's safe. Nobody's safe around here. So yeah, no, I mean, in general though, I liked it. And like Matt said, it's gonna get hung no matter what. If it's a band or like Prince, then there was probably people who hated the Red Hot Chili Peppers performance a few years ago, Beyonce's performance, Katy Perry. I heard somebody complaining about The Weeknd, his thing he did last year. I don't really remember that one, but
that was especially awful. You should be happy you don't remember it.
Well, I just know he does have one song that I think's pretty cool, but it's the one that I think got him famous anyways, right?
Yeah.
Blinded by the Light or something. Is that what it's called?
I don't know what you're talking
about. I'm blinded by the light. I don't even know if those are the words.
It's someone else's song.
You guys know exactly what I'm talking about, though?
You're probably going to get hit with a copyright hit, because that was probably straight on what it sounds like.
It was pretty close. I've been called the songbird of my generation.
Next step is a Beehive Sports SoundCloud account.
When I first started doing like what I do, I used to get really drunk and go live and like sing and sing songs. Like I'd play songs like on me and my wife be drinking, so it'd be a song. It could be rap, it could be classic rock or like country, and like the words are on the screen, so I'll just sing it even if I didn't know it. and it was like the worst content ever. But people watch, and people still mention it once in a while. They're like, "You should do that again." I'm like, "Dude, that is no." People actually watch now.
So what do we need? What do we need to do to make that happen at least one time?
I don't know. I was like, the last time I was drinking, my wife, I was like, maybe, but I would have to like not be that drunk blackout because like I'm sponsored now, so I have to watch that. They might not want to see that.
That's how you build a fan
I got
base,
drunk
though.
and went live after the Niners beat the Packers, Matt. I was right on one.
Dude,
letting the people know.
My drunkest one, I was in my basement one time drunk, like blackout drunk. Probably shouldn't share this, if I'm gonna. And I fell asleep live, like leaning against the wall in my basement. Like I have a bar in my basement, and I leaned up. I was against the wall, and I was just sleeping. And I didn't have as many followers as I have now, but I woke up, and people from my work were like watching. And they were like, "Oh my God!" People in the comments like, "Did he die?" Like, and they're like, "No, he's from Wisconsin. Like he'll be all right." And I woke up. I had like 200 comments on this live because it was playing. I don't know how long. My wife, until I woke up, she's like, "Hey, check your Facebook." So as soon as I saw it, I deleted. I didn't watch it. I didn't look at the comments. I just saw like 200 comments. Like, "Oh my God, that's bad." And then people were telling me at my work. I'm like, "Why didn't you call me?" I'm like, "Yo, wake up, bro! Like, you're live on the internet." But
that's hilarious.
That was a good memory. I wish I would have saved the video. I wish I could have had that, but I panicked. I was like, I got to get this off the internet. People were like in the comments, and my wife had said, she's like, they're like, someone dial 911. He died. Like, yeah, he died standing up.
So the video, like, it was just a live feed of you sleeping against the wall.
Yeah, like I must have been talking and like saying stuff, and then I just passed out, and I kind of leaned up, and it was kind of like a border or whatever on the wall. I just kind of leaned against it, and I was just taking a little night time. You know what I mean?
All right. Hey, let's get to Matt. I know you'll have some stuff to say about this. So we got a list. I'm gonna rattle them off. We came up with, and 15 of them were from CBS Sports.
Must be good.
Munch Munch.
Shout out.
He should join us tonight. I don't know if he's not working. He should be on here right now. Sketty and I added 3, I think, but I don't know how many we have now. Tell me if I miss any. And we know that some of these aren't going anywhere. Some of them are. Some of them are huge question marks. Some of them probably won't even be in the league next year. But so just quick list: Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, Kirk Cousins, Matt Ryan, Derek Carr, Tua, Jimmy G, Jameis Winston, Nick Foles, Jared Goff, Teddy Bridgewater, Cam Newton, Sam Darnold, Tyrod Taylor, Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray, Mitch Trubisky. Who did I miss?
Tom Brady.
I think Tom Brady's not coming back. I know you want him to be the Niners quarterback. It's not happening.
He will be San Francisco 49ers quarterback week 1.
That's a Bills fan is like, no.
As long as he stays in the NFC, I don't care anymore. I'm done with that guy.
He can be done. Just let him be done.
So, Aaron Rodgers, we'll start with him. Matt, what do you foresee going on with him? You think he's staying?
Yeah, and the Packers just hired a new quarterbacks coach. Excuse me. What is it? Tom Clements? I forget the name of it. But he used to be an old coach that Rodgers, I think, got mad when he got let go. I think that's one of the coaches that he was ticked off about. So I think bringing him back almost has to be like a little, like, the Pack. Maybe he even requested it. I don't know. I have no like inside information, but I wouldn't be surprised if they say, hey, what, we want you back. What can we do? Or if they're just kind of like doing Denver, Denver just hires all the Packer coaches. Maybe they're going that route too. Like, hey, well, let's bring this guy. And he's a good coach. It's not like he's some bum that they're doing charity for. But I feel like he wouldn't. I wonder if he would have came back if it was up in the air. Like, maybe I'm coaching Aaron Rodgers. Maybe I'm coaching Jordan Love. I feel like he would have wanted to know, is it going to be Aaron Rodgers? So maybe this is already settled, just not, public yet. And they know he's coming back. I feel he's coming back. I've been saying it all offseason. I said it last offseason, and I was right last offseason, but I'm really severely biased. I want him back. Packers are better with him. But, like, people are saying, like, well, if he comes back, then the Packers cap space – I just made a video about this. Like, the cap space is bad, and then we can't get our guys back. We won't be as good. Like, the Packers don't have to be as good. Maybe being as good as they were was bad because, like, they've been good the last 2 years. this year, I think the best team in the league, but they didn't win the Super Bowl. They lost the first playoff game. Like get hot. Like, the Niners played well when it was important. The Rams did their thing. Like, you get hot. Like, you don't have to be the best. When the Packers won a Super Bowl, they were the 6th seed. Like, dude, it doesn't matter if you're the number 1 seed, best team in the league all season in the playoffs.
Correct.
It just irritates you. Like, just get in. Those Giants teams that won the Super Bowl, they were never the best team in the league. Like, even the Patriots, when they went undefeated, they didn't win the Super Bowl. Like, you don't have to be the almighty best and break records and everyone's number 1 on everyone's power ranking. And then in the playoffs, you just, you know what I mean? Like, dude, I don't care if they're as good. Just you have to get there and see what happens.
No, yeah, I agree with that too. I mean, it's definitely the goal is to make it to the postseason, and if you're the hottest team rolling into the postseason, you have as good a shot as the team who has the best record all season long.
Yeah.
Playing the most, cohesive football. That's what's going to get you through the playoffs, in my opinion. So Rodgers likely, Matt thinks staying. I know Denver has been rumored, like he said, some of the coaches going there, Nathaniel Hackett. Russ Wilson's an interesting one.
Yeah.
And if he lands in a place called Pittsburgh or New England, I'm going to be extremely upset. However, even with
New England is – I don't think New England's on the radar.
I don't think it's
they got Mac Jones. I really don't think –
I never put anything past Billy B.
I know, right? If he thought Russell Wilson could just give him like a 1% better edge, he would throw anyone. He'd throw his mom to the dirt.
Right.
Like, yo, we might win another game. I don't care who it is. But yeah, I don't really think the Patriots are gonna. I think that
I think Russ is Pittsburgh or Tampa. I think is screaming to Russ, or maybe even Darren's boys, the Colts.
Yes.
I just don't see him going someplace where there's already somebody there.
Ron, welcome aboard. Can you hear us?
Nope, I don't know.
Ron can't hear us. He looks frozen.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Yep, I can hear you.
I was just welcoming you in. We're talking about quarterbacks on the move. We got a list of.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yep.
It's
might be a little delayed.
It's a little
or something.
jumpy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try something here. My video thing. Boom.
Kirk Cousins. We're gonna stick in the north here. Kirk Cousins is another one who hasn't really played up to the expectation. Even though he quietly has statistically good years, he just doesn't win.
I did see they could get out of like $35 million if they. I don't know if they trade him or if they cut him, but because his cap hit's like $40 million this year, but they can relieve a lot of that by moving on. So it's possible.
If I'm Matt Ramage, I want Kirk Cousins staying as close to the NFC North as possible because it's could snag a couple easy wins.
Kirk Cousins is like I talk to a lot of Viking fans and they tell me how great he is, and like his numbers look good sometimes, but like I have no faith in him.
No,
like, if you're gonna tell me like the top quarterbacks and like the top 15 or whatever, who do you want in the fourth quarter? Like I don't know, and the numbers might say I'm wrong, but I don't want Kirk Cousins. I think Kirk Cousins. I have no faith. I'm not worried at all about the Vikings. Dude, Kirk Cousins is never going to win a Super Bowl. Like no team is ever going to the Super Bowl. Unless he's like with some team that they have a crazy good defense and they're like just don't screw it up type of offense, like Jimmy G. Jimmy G. If they
Trent Dilfer, Brad Johnson.
Yeah,
Jimmy G.
But like Kirk Cousins isn't that type of quarterback where he can be told just throw 10 passes a game. Like he wants to be a good quarterback really bad, and he's just not. I mean, he thinks he is though.
He just wants to be so bad. It's
like
just
me and like podcasts. Like, I really want to be good, but it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Sometimes you fall asleep during a live show. It's just shit happens.
You gotta take a nap every now and again.
That's right. Derek Carr, I think we can are we crossing him off this list now? Because Derek Carr has been. He's about to get like $40 million a year.
$40 million a year for Derek Carr. It blows my mind, but that's the rumor. that I've heard is
They're
he's
saying they're going to
back.
give him $40 million. a year.
40 million. That's what they're saying
Mind blowing.
for Derek Carr's services.
I mean, I like Derek Carr, but I don't like him that much. I don't think
Yeah,
he's like
right,
the worst.
exactly.
I don't think he's the worst. Like, if
No, you gotta.
not 40 million.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
30 million, you could talk me into it.
No, I mean you better get Deshaun Watson without all the problems for 40 mil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
about Kyler? So we can talk about Kyler. I see in the comments, Terry says he'll take Kyler in Pittsburgh.
Kyler should stay right where he's at. They should get rid of the coach. That's what they should do.
Kingsbury's, yeah, I agree with that. Can't win in the second half. The thing, I think Kyler should go to the Oakland A's where he was drafted and play baseball because I don't know how he's calling him. He's the scapegoat, is what he's saying. They're making him the scapegoat for their loss against the Rams in the playoffs, which was he played terrible.
He was not very good.
No, so I don't know. Like, what
does that mean? Like when he says they're making me the scapegoat, are they trashing him in the media, or like did they call him and be like, "It was your fault. You're a piece of crap"? Like
I don't know.
Sometimes like you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I didn't hear them come out and like blame him, but I was like, when I heard that, I was like, "What's that mean?" Like I get like the media and like fans are gonna say, "But first of all, he did. Like he didn't. Like that's like." Aaron Rodgers coming out and be like, "Oh, that wasn't my fault." Like, I mean, it wasn't technically because the special teams was crap, but like he scored 10 points. People are gonna say some stuff, like you know what I mean. Like if you make mistakes in a big game, people are gonna say stuff. Like I like
58 yards in the second half.
Yeah, it's I don't want to get into that, but I like Kyler. I think he's a good quarterback. He's young. I think
Not me neither. Me neither.
But he like we'll see. I don't know. Well, I don't know where he'll go. Like that'd be interesting though if he just up and said, "I'm gonna play some baseball." Like if he can get some baseball money and not get hit all the time, like I'll go play some baseball.
Yeah, it's a surprising move to go NFL over MLB if you're drafted into both, which he was. But guys do it. I mean, there's been quite the handful of them who have. So
there'll finally be somebody in the league who doesn't tower over Jose Altuve when they're standing on second base next to him now.
My man right here.
Right. Yeah. There was a rumor that Minnesota was going to try to trade for him.
For Kyler?
It's kind of been picked up here locally in the Minnesota media that they were gonna try to work a deal out, see if they were interested in getting rid of him for some draft picks up here, which I think would be awesome because it'd be great if they signed him for a couple of first round picks and then he went and played baseball anyway. And the Vikings had nobody to play quarterback.
Dude, the thing like with the Vikings,
that's just I can see that. That's Herschel Walker all over.
Dude, the Vikings are all over like every player. Like they're getting everybody. Like if you were Viking fans, like they're all in the comments.
Oh yeah,
we're getting this guy, we're getting that guy, we're gonna do this, and then they signed Kirk Cousins to $80 million. So Viking fans are all like the coach and Harbaugh. Yeah, dude, they wanted Harbaugh so bad.
Oh yeah, the Harbaugh thing was hilarious.
Yeah, they're like, "Oh, we're getting Harbaugh, we're doing this and that." It doesn't happen like we didn't want him. He sucks anyways. And it's like
when things don't pan out. Yeah, that's like classic NFL fan behavior, though. Like if they get a guy, they love him, and as soon as he leaves for more money, didn't like that guy anyway.
Yep, never. He sucks. He ain't gonna do nothing.
So crossing some guys off our list here, Tua.
Tua's staying.
Tua's staying. Is that what we decided? That
I think Tua stays.
So McDaniel wants him there. That's going to be his guy, his project. Good luck. Jimmy G. Jimmy G's probably going to.
He's Audi 5Gs.
Audi 5Gs.
I think Jimmy G is either going to be. I really don't see him in Tampa because he can't do what the offense Arians wants to run does. But I really think Pittsburgh or Washington will be possibly even the Colts. Darren, you got something to look forward to.
Let's go.
All the guy does is win.
More mediocre quarterbacks with a lot of upside that they never show.
Whoa, mediocre.
You don't want to hear my
He's
thoughts
been to
on
2
Jimmy
NFC
G.
championship games. Come on now.
Hey,
Put some respect on the man's name.
and Carson Wentz
No.
played like an MVP a couple years ago, and now you see what he's doing.
Yeah, but the thing with Jimmy G is like he's like the don't screw it up guy. Like, and
Yeah.
I'm extremely biased, and I'm a Packer fan, so like I hate Jimmy G. Like after that, him and Robbie Gould, the Packers suck thing, like that just added a little pepper on the top. I don't like pepper, but I can't stand. I mean, but I'm not gonna be like he ain't trash. Like he's not. I would even put him above Kirk Cousins because Kirk Cousins will try to make some stuff happen, and just help out the other team. Jimmy G was like he's good with like, hey, run the ball, play good defense. I'll try not to screw up over here, and he can keep it going on the field. He's a good game manager or whatever. He's not like some bum trash. He's gonna get paid if he goes somewhere. But I think the Steelers would be interesting because Tom is a strong coach. They can, I'm not sure like his offense philosophy, but they could for sure have a great defense and try to build a great defense.
Yeah, they want.
I don't know what they
want
are
to
right
run
now.
the football.
Yeah, and run the ball. Have a quarterback who's not going to be out there
Yep.
gunslinging, just freaking slinging it around, like throwing it behind his head and stuff when he gets in trouble. I think that would work.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to throw two more names out, and let's see what you guys think about this. Matt Ryan, Jameis Winston.
Doesn't matter, bro.
Probably not. In the grand scheme, no, it doesn't.
No,
Matt Ryan's cap number is way too big to move. He's 40 million or something like that against the cap. 45 million. Like, there's no way anyone's trading for him at this point. Like, they can't do anything. They can't cut him. They can't trade him. Like, they need to hope he retires.
Yeah, I would take Jimmy G. I think over Matt Ryan. I have to Matt Ryan. Like, I forgot he was still playing. Like, what are they doing?
Terry in the comments said didn't know Matt Ryan was still playing. Almost right on cue when you said it.
Yeah, I'm glad he's doing well.
So Jameis too is another one. I mean, where did he only sign a 1-year deal in New Orleans?
Yeah, they're saying Tampa Bay might be a landing spot.
Yeah,
For Jameis?
Yeah.
Man, I thought they'd keep him away from cities by the ocean so he got, wasn't stealing crab legs from local fish
Just
markets
imagine,
again.
though, if I was a team and I was really interested in Jameis, I would say, like, find the best quarterbacks coach you can find. Like, the best quarterback coach of all time, whoever that is. Because he can sling it. He
definitely has an arm.
But he also just, like, he's a giver. He's like Santa Claus.
Yep.
You get an interception. You get, like, corners love him because, like, there's some corners that went to the Pro Bowl because of him. He's gonna sling the thing around. So if a team could find it, they could control that, fix it, like redo all the things, but not that part of it, or at least limit it. I think he could be successful. I wouldn't like put money on him or nothing, but I think it'd be interesting if he had a good coaches around him that could try to like he's a gunslinger to try to tame him in a little bit, like they tame horses. They're all wild at first. I don't know. I saw it on a TV show once.
What about so I don't know why Jared Goff made this list. I find it hard to believe they'd part ways with him already. I understand that if they are looking for their future guy, maybe they might move on from him, but it seems kind of soon.
Probably because they have Tim Boyle over there, bro. Tim Boyle, former Green Bay Packer, the GOAT. He was on my podcast one time.
He was?
Maybe, yeah. And you know what's funny? He was on my podcast, like, I don't know, a couple years ago. I think it was before COVID. But I froze during the podcast. That's when I was, like, kind of, like, still sucky. Not that I'm great now. But it wasn't live or nothing. And my brain just, like, locked up, like, mid-sentence. I'm like, I don't know. I forgot what I was going to say. And he's on the phone, and he's like, all right, well, that's okay. And he was trying to, like, help me out. And I was like, yeah, I got nothing. And then I actually said to him, I said, do you have any ideas? Because, like, my brain was just, like, shut down, locked up.
This is your show now.
And then he's like, and I was like, you're the host now, bro. And then he was like, and then all of a sudden it came back, like, no, I got it. And then we went. I just edited it out because it wasn't live. I feel like such an idiot.
I wish
you. Two other questions. I was like, I'm done.
You got to keep that stuff in there, man. That's the good stuff.
Dude, it was like 5 minutes, man.
Yeah, you can't throw the hard crabs away.
Yeah, it was. I felt so bad.
I'm
not really bad. I know. I shouldn't keep them. You know what's funny? I had HaHa Clinton Dix on my podcast.
This is a good story.
Yeah, everyone kind of knows that. But I got drunk one night and deleted it. Like, I don't even have the podcast anymore because I was drunk and I was uploading a podcast, and then back then I was using SoundCloud, so you have favorites, and they're on the top. So when I uploaded the next podcast, I saw haha Clint Dix. I'm like, oh, I re-uploaded the wrong podcast. It's a haha, so I deleted it. And then I was like, then I realized I just deleted it. So I went into my computer to find the podcast, and it wasn't there. I think it was like, it might have been an old laptop. Like I might have got a new one like right after that because it was my first episode. But that sucked. I have the video still, but it's it's not good audio or nothing. It's just like from a
he came to your house, right?
Yeah, he came to my house. Like he said he would do it because we used to do the videos together, like the cleat phone and all that. And then so he said, I'll come, I'll do your podcast. I'll come to your house. I was like, you don't gotta come to my house because like that's I don't live in Green Bay. I live like 35, 40 miles north or whatever. And he got traded like while we were talking, and then he came back to clean up his house or whatever to finish up at the end of the season all his personal stuff. And he's like, I'll come to your house. So he came to my house and did it. I was so nervous. I was like pacing back and forth. It was actually good though. He was like so cool. It made me comfortable. But
yeah, that would have been cool.
It just sucks I deleted it, but it doesn't matter. I mean, no one's going back to listen to a podcast, whatever it was, 2018 or whatever. But I have the video. I have like little clips. But then they say the audio I don't have is like, But it's funny because like during I was doing the podcast, I had 2 mics set up, and then halfway, like not even halfway, like right away I realized his mic doesn't work. Like it's just not working, right? But I had a blue ball mic, and those blue ball mics really pick up pretty much everything around you. They're pretty good. So like in the video, you can see me just sliding the mic over, like every time he talks, I just slide it more. I don't want to be so obvious. And he's talking to his mic. I was like, man, if this audio doesn't pick up, and it's just like an echo of him in the corner, I'm gonna be so mad. Plus, he was eating McDonald's. So he had a cup, and he was just tapping the cup on the table the whole time. I was like, that's definitely screwed up my audio. But I don't want to tell him, like, hey, stop.
You don't want to yell at haha Clinton Dix who just came to your house to do a show.
Yeah, he was actually really cool. Like he was real polite. Like I told him, I was like, you don't have to take off your shoes. He's like, I always take off my shoes at people's house. It's rude not to. I was like, all right, whatever. I mean, if you look around this thing, you know what I mean? But yeah, he was super cool. Like, I'm a player coming to your house, and like people like in my town. I live in a small town, like 4,000 people. Like it got around the hot Clint Dix was in town. Like, there's a hot Clint Dix at your house? I was like, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? He stops by every now and again.
Well, boys,
No big deal.
Yeah, no, it was definitely pretty cool, and it was cool because I started my podcast way back when, and then I quit because I sucked, and I was like, I suck at this. Maybe this ain't for me. And then like I waited, like I think it was the off season or whatever, and I was like, screw it, I'm gonna try it again. And I started talking about it. And back then, me and him used to talk a little bit. We were doing the little video things, and I mentioned it. And then I was like, hey, you want to be a guest? And then he was like, yeah, I'll come on. So then that's kind of how that's one of the reasons I started again. Because I was like, well, I got a guest. I didn't like think past that one. Besides like Tom Crabtree, he'd come on all the time back then. But
that's cool. All right, so here cool. one more quarterback to go over, and we'll see what you guys think about this one. Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, I think that's one that like if you're one of those teams, like even Darren for you with the Colts, like if you're one of those teams that you're right there, I think Trubisky's young enough.
Man.
Well, but I think Trubisky can be good. You get him out from Matt Nagy's garbage offense,
right?
And I think the guy can play. Like I really think, he goes to somewhere to contender.
I predict that he's going to go to the Giants. I think he follows Dable because he has a year under his system. Dable did a lot with Josh Allen to get him to where he's at right now. Trubisky has a year under his system. Daniel Jones is at best. Yep. So I could see those two squaring off in a quarterback, competition for the Giants for next year.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, I mean,
I think he needs to go Darren, what there's a competition.
What's that?
Yeah, I agree.
I think he needs to go somewhere where there's competition, where he has a shot. And yeah, dude, I would love nothing more than to see him thrive.
Somewhere not Chicago.
Take a big dump on Chicago. And I would love to see Trubisky win an MVP someday. Just so I can trash the Bears, be like, bro, that was your guy, and you made him suck. And then he went because I think it was a preseason game for the Bills. Like he did, I think he played the Bears in torn up a little bit. I forget. That was a lot of beers ago. But I would like to see him. I don't think like he's some great thing, but I think he deserves a shot to be in competition. And even if he doesn't win, to like play under someone, then maybe like the year after he gets a shot somewhere. But yeah, I definitely think that he's worthy of a shot for a team that doesn't have whatever an all-pro quarterback.
All right.
Hey, Matt.
We're gonna. Oh, go ahead, Ron. You got something?
I think Ron's on delay like a news person.
I know, man. I'm sorry. I can't on this freaking switch. You won't get off of that thing. What if Rodgers either decides to retire or move on, and the Packers brought in Trubisky to back up Jordan Love? What'd you think about that?
That would be interesting.
I
never really thought about that. Yo, that kind of
You just blew Matt's mind.
unreal like that.
It's out there. I mean, Jordan Love is, if Rodgers decides to go, and I want him back. I'm not saying he should go, but if he decides to either retire or move on, or even this year or next year, and Trubisky's out there as a backup option, I don't know if there's a lot of guys out there that are better than him. At this point.
I think it's a good thing to think about, because if Jordan Love's your guy and they're like full in on him and they're like, hey, he's going to be this and that, because Jordan Love is like 2 years younger than Joe Burrow. He's really young yet. He's like almost 2 years. I think it's like 23 months or something. So if they fully believe that Jordan Love is that dude, if Rodgers is gone, they want to bring in a backup that is good, but not too good. They don't want to bring in like some vet who he could feel like he could, he's up looking over his shoulder all the time. And Trubisky could be that guy, and also maybe he doesnn't suck. I think that's interesting. But Rodgers will come back, so it doesn't even matter.
I think I agree too. I just threw that out as a hypothetical.
No, I think that's a pretty
like I said, he's not. I don't think he's better than Jordan Love, but he might give him enough competition to keep Jordan Love, moving in the right direction, and that might be what we want, right? At the end of the day.
And he's seen some stuff, so like he could still be a guy that could be like, whatever, talking on the sideline how they do. They get the iPads. Look at that. I don't know what they do, but they help each other.
Sure.
All right. Are you guys sticking around for the next segment? Any of you got to go?
I got to head out because I got to do another.
I got to go coach hockey tonight.
Yeah, you got to coach hockey. It's going to be me, Sketty, and Darren moving forward. Yeah. Matt, thanks for. Go ahead.
Thanks for having me, boys.
No, sorry if I was a little too chatty. I'm used to my own stuff.
No, you're fine, man. That's tonight's purpose. Give me and Sketty a break.
Yeah, it's good stuff. No, you guys are awesome. Have fun. You guys are talking about some hockey, is that what you said?
No, Ron has to go coach hockey.
Oh, you got to go coach hockey?
Yeah.
I got to go coach hockey. Yeah.
Do they fight? Like, is that young kids? That's the only thing I like. I see
9-year-olds younger, so no, they're not fighting. They're running into each other a lot, but they don't fight.
All right.
Matt was about to look up ticket prices right there.
I know. I was like, where do I go?
Right.
Road trip.
Dude, that'd be awesome to see kids beat the hell out of each other. With not even a puck out there. That's
a bunch of parents.
Good luck.
Oh, it'd be so many "your mama's so fat" jokes, you wouldn't know what to do.
I got good ones for that.
Thanks for Matt. We're gonna have you back, and Ron, I know will be back too. But we're gonna plan something for season 2 when we get into March and April, and do a full show again. That
good.
way. So
I'll definitely have you on, and even everyone in here. You guys are good stuff. It's fun. You guys can jump on my thing.
For sure.
All right. Peace out. Have a good one, guys.
Yep. Absolutely. See ya, Matt.
See you guys later.
See you, Ron.
Later.
You guys.
All right, so we got close down the opening here. Napoli's want to thank them for being with us in season 1, the majority of season 1. They bought on for all football season. It was great having them. They've been a terrific sponsor. Doing the giveaway for the Super Bowl that Bo won. We posted the picture of that. It's been great. So Steph and all those guys have been awesome. So thank you, Napoli's. And we're going to take a break, and we will be back with This Week in Sports History, which is going to be the Southern Methodist death penalty, 1987.
Hungry? Watching the game? Order some Napoli's Pizza, voted the best pizza in the Times Observer Reader's Choice every year. Homemade, hand-tossed, delicious hot pizza, stromboli, salads, subs, and so much more. Located in North Warren, come on in or call 814-723-7455 and ask about our specials. Pickup or delivery available 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Again, that's 814-723-7455.
Hi, this is Brian Hagberg, and I wanted to take a moment and tell you about our new website, yourdailylocal.com. Your Daily Local is your new home for news, sports, and events in Warren County and beyond. Our goal is to cover the people, places, events, and happenings that matter to you in a variety of ways, including writing, video, and audio. And the best part? All of our content is available for free. Head to yourdailylocal.com to get the news you need when you need it.
Let's take a look back at this week in sports history.
This week in sports history brought to you by Your Daily Local. Visit Your Daily Local for the news you need when you need it. I want to thank Brian Hagberg, Andy Close for being with us in season 1. Look forward to doing more with those guys and having them on more. We're going to tackle maybe a little bit more local stuff coming into season 2. So we'll see how that goes. But that's all part of the team meetings we're going to have, Sketty.
I look forward to it, especially
right.
since there's beverages allowed at the team meetings, right?
There's for sure beverages allowed at the team meeting.
Not only allowed, encouraged.
Required.
Even better.
Yeah. Perfect. Hunter, thanks for jumping on. I kind of thought I wasn't sure if you were going to hop on with us tonight, but I figured if you were, it would be during this segment since you were the one who this is for. Hunter had sent me this a while ago. I'm glad he reminded me today because I had completely forgot.
The hell are you talking about?
Yeah, he sent me a text. It's like, dude, the death penalty, you're running out of time. And I'm like, am I going to jail? Like, what the fuck's he talking about right now? Am I being charged with something? Like, what? I was really confused about what was happening there. But, yeah, so Hunter sent me this, and he wanted us to go over it in the sports history segment. And I actually read into it. It's a pretty crazy story. So we'll get started with it, and then you guys can chime in as we go. So this is 1987. The phrase coined by John Lombardi, the former president of the University of Florida, used the death penalty to describe the penalties imposed on Southern Methodist University football when the NCAA found out that they were paying several players, to commit to the team. So for those who don't know, SMU, most of you should or have heard of it at least. It's a small school in Dallas, about 6,000 students. And in 1982, back when college football wasn't predominantly owned by all the same teams you saw a lot of these small schools come in. We talked in the past about Washington, Jefferson, Duquesne, some of these smaller schools that were relevant back in the day. So in 1982, SMU had an undefeated season. They were ranked number 2 in the country. They won the Cotton Bowl. In 1976, they had hired a guy named Ron Meyer, and that was when this small school started becoming kind of a powerhouse in the world of college football. Which, in the realm of Texas football, you have the Longhorns and Texas A&M, these bigger schools that kind of rule the roost, so to speak. And what took place here is the big signing, and now there's a 30 for 30 ESPN does about this. It is the Eric Dickerson decommitting from Texas A&M and chooses Southern Methodist. Now, nobody could figure out how did this happen? Why did this take place? It raised a lot of eyebrows as to what's going on there. In the ESPN 30 for 30, which is titled The Pony Excess, is dubbing or making a mockery, I should say, of the Pony Express, which is what their backfield was known as with Eric Dickerson and his teammate Craig James. But no one would ever say how or why he landed at Southern Methodist. And the ongoing joke around the world of pro and college football was that Eric Dickerson took a pay cut when he was drafted. Whoa, Hunter.
Hey,
Somebody's got some gray sweatpants on.
Yeah.
Watch the cam, brother.
Everybody wants to come up here and talk to Uncle Joe, hence the frozen stuff. I'm in my daughter's room.
Well, you don't have to. You don't have to.
It's my sweatshirt. I'm wearing khakis. I just got to work.
No, man, it went
Calm down.
it went lower than that last time.
Calm down.
You just threw me completely off the whole segment. I don't even know what were we even talking about.
Me not wearing gray sweatpants.
Oh, okay. So, anyways, like I said, the joke was that Eric Dickerson took a pay cut when he entered the NFL. In 1982, Bobby Collins takes over as head coach. That's who leads them to the undefeated season because Ron Meyer at that point had departed SMU to take over the then lowly, garbage, trash, terrible New England Patriots. They're kind of that way now, too, if you ask me. But anyways, so the problem with Bobby Collins was that he wasn't a great recruiter. However, they're still getting these good players. But to go back to Collins being a shitty recruiter, he chases after a Pittsburgh prep star by the name of Sean Stopperich. He paid Sean $5,000 to commit to SMU. At that point, Sean moved his entire family down to Dallas to play for SMU. But what Collins didn't know was that in Sean's senior season, he blew his knee out and his best football was behind him. He lasted only 1 year at SMU and left the program. He also became the first key witness for the NCAA when they launched their investigation into SMU. Sorry, I'm getting my notes organized here. There's shit all over the place, you know. So the first round of penalties came in 1985, where SMU received a 2-year bowl ban, as well as 45 scholarships revoked that were to take place over a 2-year period. Now, when this happened, the boosters took the heat from the school president, you know, and all of that. And they were dubbed the Naughty Nine. These are the 9 boosters who allegedly forked over cash to get all these players there. So the NCAA then held a special meeting because those penalties that we just discussed, the 2-year bowl ban and the 45 scholarships, those were at that point the harshest penalties ever handed down by the NCAA. Although they did that, the NCAA thought we need something harsher for people who are cheating. So the harshest of those rules they came up with were dubbed the death penalty. To make it right after the 1985 sanctions, SMU was to cut payment to these players immediately. They took a different route. They implemented a phase-out plan where they continued to pay players who were promised the money until they graduated. One of those players, David Stanley, who was kicked off the team, went forward and did an on-TV interview about all the benefits that the improper benefits he received. Following that, Collins, among others from SMU, tried to do their own interview, but and I thought I wrote down. No, I didn't write down. I thought I wrote the news channel that actually played the interview with these 3 guys, Collins and 2 of the higher up staffers at SMU. The media set a trap essentially and got them to admit a payment on TV. And I guess the interview was extremely awkward. They looked uncomfortable and fell for the trap, basically admitting their guilt on television. So at that point, February 25th, 1987, NCAA Director of Enforcement David Burst made the announcement that the death penalty was being handed down to SMU, and basically the football program was dead. it was such an intense moment for the director of enforcement that he actually fainted moments after making the announcement. The 1987 season was canceled. It is the first and only time the NCAA has actually canceled an entire team's year. No home games were to be played in 1988, but due to the harsh restrictions and the fear of high school athletes committing to the program, they couldn't even field a team in 88. So they had no season for 2 years. It's been so hard for them to recover still from this death penalty that they had one winning season the next 20 years, which came in 2009 when they finally made a bowl game. And that is that's the story of the Southern Methodist death penalty. Any questions? I direct them to Hunter.
I mean, I don't know what you want to say about it other than, you know, they kind of just got an example made of them because everybody was fucking paying players back then. You know, it's kind of.
It's easier to get away with though when you're a big name university. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're a small town school, like 6,000 people, you know, that'd be like Teal going to the national championship and winning it, and then being like, now you're telling me some small town school in the middle of, you know, BFEPA just won the national championship. Something sketchy's going on. It's like you got to be. I mean, if you're gonna do it, be smart.
Wasn't it A&M? Go ahead, Darren.
I was just gonna say, all it takes is like Joe said, it's just like one guy who tears his ACL and has sour grapes about it. It's gonna pipe up and tell the media about it, and that blows pretty much the whole operation there.
Which is the same exact argument I will use until I'm dead of why pro sports are not rigged, because there's way too many mouths to feed, and somebody would get far richer telling that story than they ever would from being a part of it.
You think Colin Kaepernick wouldn't be blowing the whistle on that right now?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Colin Kaepernick wouldn't be blowing the whistle on that. He's making way too much money doing what he's doing. He wouldn't do anything to mess it up.
He's got
to pretend like the league is real so that he can act like they're blackballing him and keep his paychecks coming. Colin Kaepernick would be the safest person to keep that secret.
It feeds into his. Yeah, that's a good point.
He can't say it's rigged. Then no one cares about him anymore.
Gets him all them Nike promos.
Yeah. But wasn't that the deal with A&M though? Like when they didn't get Dickerson, like didn't A&M, like he wanted the Camaro or whatever, and A&M said that they had already paid him enough money, he should just come there, and then like SMU was like, we'll get you a Camaro, no problem.
It's possible. I didn't read that far into it, but I wouldn't. All I know is that nobody would ever come clean about why that happened. And in fact, when most people were asked, the article that I read, the people who would know the answer only would smile. That was their response.
Yep. Nobody ever told any glimpse of truth about any of it. Other than the NCAA knowing, hey, we're not, dumbasses. There's no way a small town school like you is winning the Cotton Bowl. You got 6,000 students. I guarantee you out of those 6,000, you have probably 5 total D1 athletes that actually attend your school. There's no shot you're, going through and to today's standards, winning a shot at the national championship. There's no way.
Yeah, and to one of you guys made a comment that the small school thing, I think it was Hunter. What I found out too in reading that article, I forgot to make a note of it, was that they had a horrible relationship with the local media, SMU, and that Dallas is credited as one of the hubs for where investigative journalism kind of kicked off, where it really started. So they kind of opened the door for their local media, to who they already had a bad relationship with, to find a way for them to sling some serious mud. Obviously, I mean, it was a major violation, but Darren, are you back? What's going on? You're muted.
He's talking to somebody, I think.
Yeah, sorry, my daughter keeps walking in, so I have to keep muting it.
She doesn't understand. She doesn't know you're busy.
I wasn't listening at all.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't hear what Sketty called you?
Am I glad I didn't?
Yeah. Well,
It might have to be censored.
Yeah, we don't. Well, it won't be though because we don't censor anything on this show. That's what we love about it. All right, we're gonna wrap up sports history this week in sports history. Brought to you by Your Daily Local. Visit yourdailylocal.com for the news you need when you need it. Take a quick break, and we will be back with the things that sting.
Jones Pest Control, your hometown pest control company servicing residential and commercial properties in Warren and surrounding areas since 2015. Sean and his crew will work tirelessly to keep your home or business free of insects to rodents and everything in between. Contact Jones Pest Control at 814-230-9548 and set up an appointment today. And remember, ants, spiders, bees, or mice, don't think twice. Call Jones Pest Control, 814-230-9548.
Checkout means sales and services with 2 locations on Warren's east side. Their garage at 800 Lexington Avenue not only services cars sold by Means, but has knowledgeable staff and modern state-of-the-art equipment waiting to serve their hometown of Warren. Whatever you need, including alignments, tires, brakes, yearly or enhanced PA inspections, oil changes, and much more. Make your appointment today at 814-723-7191, extension 2.
It's now time for the things that sting. The worst stories in sports, according to Joe.
This edition of the Things That Sting, powered by Jones Pest Control. Ants, spiders, bees, or mice, don't think twice. Call Sean Jones and his crew at 814-230-9548. I've been thanking each sponsor as we go. Huge shout out to Jones Pest Control. They were the very first sponsor of the show, which is pretty cool. I think they're like barrier breakers, right? Quick introduction, jumping on the feed. Your first ever Fan Rant champion, Moon. I played the wrong song. I played Stone Cold. You didn't tell me you were going to be Ric Flair.
I was confused.
Let me see if I have Ric Flair.
I spent more money on spilt liquor and bars in Warren than Sketty made this week, okay? The Rams are only now 14 championships away from the Nature Boy. So things are looking up.
Moon, I'm upset you didn't invite me to come out for one of those spilled drinks, bud. Like, what the hell? You know, I would even told you, congrats. We now know it was Zach Taylor that blew the last Super Bowl for him because he had the better team this year and fucking blew it.
Actually, the tie is Eli Apple, okay? He's the one that blew it when he was with the Saints back when the Rams went to the Super Bowl. And so why put him on Cooper Kupp? I just don't get it.
Well, they should have had 2 guys on Cooper Kupp because the Rams offense could do absolutely nothing after OBJ went out of the game, which I will give credit to OBJ. He looked like a killer. They would have might have been a different game if he doesn't get hurt.
Moon, I just want to thank you for wearing clothes underneath your Ric Flair gown because
I didn't want anybody to get worried about that. You know.
Well, if I would have known that's what you were wearing on the show tonight, I certainly would have been worried about that.
You know, the other thing about why the Rams weren't ready for that is, they were already down Higbee.
Yep.
And
backup
so
played pretty good.
You just kept taking those weapons away, and I mean, they couldn't run the ball to save their life. I mean, it was down to the wire for sure.
I couldn't believe that the Bengals had success running the ball and they just gave up at it. Like, that was the only drive they looked good when they ran the ball on you guys.
Yeah,
Gibson
wasn't even in there
for
the final drive. Blew
my mind. Blew my mind.
Well, because
Aaron
this
brings
is
a good
things
point
that
up.
sting.
That's right.
Listen to this. This was Matthew Stafford in the fourth quarter, including the playoffs. Okay, 71% completion rate, 123 as the
QBR.
quarterback rating. I
Yep.
mean, he had it going, and
Cooper Kupp made him look really good.
yeah, I mean,
Kupp made him look really good.
Can we
you
talk
couldn't even
about
put
why
Jimmy
that was
G
even
on
a
there and
close
make him
game,
look
though?
that good.
Do you think it should have been a blowout one way or the other, Hunter?
Yes.
Why?
Let's talk about why it wasn't a blowout, okay? Because I don't think Jalen Ramsey could have covered my 3-year-old son on Super Bowl
Because he had his
Sunday.
face mask up too much. He was
Like-
trying to be Spider-Man.
He talked probably the second most crap next to Eli Apple and got torched almost as bad as Eli Apple.
But here's the one thing I picked up about Jalen Ramsey over the season, okay? Every time he gets burned, he pretends to fall down so he has an excuse when they score.
Well, you saw on the last play the picture as Aaron Donald's making the sack of Burrow. Jamar Chase is about 5 yards behind Jalen
Ramsey was
and Ramsey's
eating
laying
turf.
on the ground. Just like you
He
said.
probably grabbed his face mask and threw him down on the turf.
No.
I mean, he was doing that all day, too.
He was holding all day.
That was T. Higgins.
All right, we're gonna get into some things that sting, and then I'll let you guys hash it out some more about. I mean, Moon's allowed to grandstand all he wants. He's the fan rant champ. So, yeah. Real quick, Hunter did send me something while we were before he got on. I'm assuming.
I was hoping you'd check your phone.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah. So sometimes we start out the things that sting with a positive story before we get to the negative stories, because it's just too much negativity. You don't want that all surrounding your life. So here's what I'm gonna throw this out there, and I can't see who the source is, Hunter, because they're cut out of the screenshot you sent me. But it says, according to some internet investigating and putting 2 and 2 together, apparently Bills wide receiver Stephon Diggs spent Valentine's Day with 2 different women at the same hotel in 2 different rooms at the same time, scoring on and off the field.
Oh, God.
Good for Stephon. No?
There's gonna be a percentage of the audience that doesn't think that's good for Stephon.
Yeah, I know it is. I don't know. I don't know his situation to be sitting up here judging. Whatever makes him happy.
Maybe they knew about each other.
Maybe they did. I mean, how could they not? If what's he like? Hey, I'll be right back in 45 minutes, and then
they got to take a shit.
Yeah.
Not in this room though, in a different one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be too stinky. I can't.
Well, in all honesty, though, that's like a solid hotel arrangement move. Like, if you can go somewhere else, you try not to go in the hotel room if you're sharing it with somebody. I think that's just like that's like hotel rule, isn't it?
You
like if
rent out a poop room. Yeah.
Well, yeah, you just don't want to smell. I mean, they're close quarters. They sometimes don't have fans. Like, you don't want to do that to whoever your counterpart is in the room with you, guy or girl. I mean, it's just polite to go somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean, he probably got like dinner from TGI Fridays downstairs for the one and ordered room service for the other one, just to be suave.
Moon, you have some experience in this field? Is that what? Not you.
I would have picked someplace nicer because I'm a champion, world champion. See, look at this ring. Look at this ring.
All right, first story on things that sting. We have Eric K. This was the old business. Knocked her down. There we go. So this is old business because we talked about the charges he was getting or going through. He's going to trial for, which is a federal crime. It is possession with intent to deliver, resulting in death. So the resulting in death is the part that's added on. PWID can be a state charge also. So the with death, though, resulting in death is actually a 20-year minimum. So he is facing a minimum because he was found guilty today of possession with intent to deliver fentanyl, resulting in the death of Tyler Skaggs. The jury took less than 3 hours to reach their verdict, which is rather quick. So it's for the death of Tyler Skaggs, Angels pitcher in 2019. Eric Kay was the communications director. So he is set to be sentenced on June 28th. So that is when we will have the actual amount of time he gets. But like I said, it is a minimum 20 years. So he's pretty fucked.
I mean, he's fucked.
Yeah. There was
in the end, literally.
more than likely, yeah. He's gonna have to. Yeah, he's gonna have to figure something out. I mean, that's a long time. So that one we'll revisit. Sounds like one more time, unless he goes through any appeals or anything like that. But even the defense, who made a statement following the conclusion of the trial, made a statement that basically said, like, yeah, it's just a shitty situation, and Tyler's gone, and Eric Kay did what he did. I mean, they didn't really deny too much of it, but I think that I didn't watch the trial. And it's federal, so I don't think you can anyway. But I haven't read too deep into it, other than the verdict that was handed down today. But it didn't sound like they were denying that he dealt drugs. They were just trying to push off that he didn't deal the specific dose that led to Tyler's death, because in defense, that's essentially all you need to do in that scenario to get rid of the resulting in death portion of it. So, yeah, we'll touch on that in season 2 when we get back around to in June, I guess, whenever he's sentenced. Adrian Peterson. So this one came up, what was that, Sunday, Monday, somewhere around there. He was arrested
Yeah.
What's that?
It was right before the Super Bowl, I think.
Yeah, it was right before the Super Bowl.
Before.
So it was Sunday morning at 8:30 West Coast time. He was the Los Angeles Airport Police responded to a aircraft that was getting ready to depart for Houston, where it was reported there was a verbal and physical altercation on the aircraft. It was between Adrian and Ashley Peterson. What it's come to now, Adrian Peterson actually spoke with the media and gave a verbal. I mean, I think he's not cooperating. He understands what's going on, but essentially they were in a domestic dispute. He grabbed a hold of her hand and was trying to tug her ring off of her hand. And in the meantime, it scratched her up. Physical, recent sign of physical injury, and it's domestic. In Pennsylvania, he would have been in Pennsylvania, he would have been cited with harassment. I don't know what the hell they do in California, but I do know that the LA County District Attorney will not charge. So it's being pushed off to the Los Angeles City Attorney, which I don't understand how any of that works either. Like, that's nothing that, for us, it's the district attorney and that's it. So I don't know. You know how California is. We've talked about it before.
Yeah.
They got a bunch of different phases, apparently. Yeah. So I don't know what's going to end up happening with that. It doesn't sound like a whole lot. This
isn't his first.
Go ahead.
That's not Peterson's first. It's not his first problem, right? Didn't he have the thing where he was like switching his kids back in the day?
Yeah, and that one was obviously a lot more serious as far as injury and he did, I think, probation, and I don't know if he did any actual time in jail. I don't remember, because I know that was like
good 4 or 5. Beat your son
4 or 5 years ago, right?
Yeah, it was a while. It might even been longer than that. I don't
see. Remember. If Darren wasn't in here right now, we'd be sending them in the comments to go find some answers for us.
Yeah, sorry, I'm on my phone, which is my only point of research right now. So
you're forgiven this time. We won't fire you.
Yeah. Well, once you give me a budget to get something else, I'll do it.
Moon, did you hear that? We need a budget.
All right.
So
you last spilled all those drinks, Moon.
Yeah. Money wasted, Moon. All right, so last one we have for the things that sting. Justin Bannon, which I didn't even hear about this when it took place. This is from 2019. He's been sentenced to 16 years in state prison for he was found guilty of attempted murder. You may remember Justin Bannon, defensive lineman, Ravens, Broncos are the two that come to my head. So this is actually a really bizarre case. He was seeing acupuncture. I can't say it. Acupuncturist. Thank you.
Yeah, there you go.
I struggled with that one when I was writing it. I said it out loud like 10 times, and they started sounding better towards the end, but I knew when I had one shot to do it, I was going to fuck it up for sure. So he's seeing an acupuncturist, and he enters the treatment room. While he's waiting in the treatment room, the acupuncturist named, I think it said Ashley Marie, I can't quite recall. She opens the door to the treatment room, and immediately he shoots her. So what was happening was he felt that the Russian mafia was after him. So this is CTE, some mental health stuff, some potential drug and alcohol issues were all going on at once. So because of that, this woman who was shot actually made the call of minimum sentence, which was 16 years. He could have, the initial was like high 30s. So she said she believes in second chances and that he wasn't in the right frame of mind, and she doesn't feel like she was like being targeted. She was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, doing her job. So that'll land Justin Bannon at 16 years in state penitentiary in Colorado. And that's all I got today for things that sting. You guys have anything?
2 years probation, $4,000 in fines, and 80 hours of community service. That's all AP did.
Adrian Peterson?
Yep, he pled no contest to reduce charges of misdemeanor reckless assault.
Brian Lastman says, I heard AP and his old lady were arguing over the window seat. It's possible. I mean, that's I lose that battle just about every time I fly.
Well, with his knees, he doesn't want the drink cart running into it. I mean, he's got a point.
That's an excellent point, man. Excellent point.
And I would say he was the breadwinner, but I'm not quite sure he was, because he lost all his money during that whole deal with the kids stuff. I remember hearing that he was like broke. So who the hell knows? I don't know.
Well, speaking of kids, shout out to Heather and James.
Yep.
Stevie Phillips and I were sitting at the Elks trying to talk California into maybe going with Odell, California instead of Cooper, California. We just couldn't sell it. We couldn't get it faster.
So I think this is an appropriate time to tell the James story. Because this was almost something that could have literally been in the things that sting. He calls me Sunday morning, and I assumed it was like just nerve-wracking Super Bowl Sunday phone call, like where he was, he needed me to talk him off the cliff. Like he did it to me for the Astros, a handful of times, not yet for the Bills. But actually that's not true, because I get that way during even just regular playoff game, not let alone the Super Bowl, if I ever get to witness one. But he calls me, he's all, I could just tell in his voice, like he's distraught. He goes, "It's happening." What's happening? Heather's going into labor. We're heading to the hospital. I'm like, oh shit. So he's like, I don't know if I'm going to miss the game. Like I'm having, he can't be mad about it. Obviously. I mean, deep down he can, but he has to be there. There's no way out of that. But he's just all bent out of shape, because he's like, this is going to take all day and I'm not going to be able to watch the game. Well, he was fortunate, and Cooper James, California, was born. I don't know the exact time, but I know he got a hold of me about 1 or 2 o'clock. So it didn't take a whole hell of a lot of time. Seemed pretty quick, but it was hilarious that day. Cause I mean, I felt bad. Like, I'm like, dude, this is I don't know what. There's nothing I can say to you right now that's going to make this situation better, except for like, can you watch it on your phone?
Maybe they'll lose. Like you didn't have to watch it.
Even Van Jefferson stayed and celebrated with team for a little bit before he went to the hospital.
Right.
That's a good point. Yeah, actually. Yeah, I did see that, but there was also like a photo of the moment when he was being told that his wife was in labor, which was pretty cool. I don't know if you guys saw that. So yeah, no, that was cool. But yeah, shout out James and Heather. Pretty awesome. He's happy he had a boy. Now he's got a boy and a girl. I'd be heading to the dick doctor if I was him.
Hey.
Isn't that when you call it a day?
Yeah.
After you get one of each, then you yeah. All right. We'll close this out and then we'll head into My Hive and go from there. We're cruising on through the season finale. This edition of the Things That Sting, powered by Jones Pest Control. Ants, spiders, bees, or mice. Don't think twice. Call Jones Pest Control at 814-230-9548. Thank you again, Sean, for being a part of this and our first person who ever approached me and said, like, hey, I want to do something. Like, I think those were his words, because even then I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm literally on a cheap mic standing up in my basement doing a show. We'll talk about that in the next segment, though. The progression. It's been fun. All right, take a quick break. Be right back. Minute and a half. Blue Line Auto, located at 1606 Pennsylvania Avenue East in Warren, is locally owned and operated and is a family-run business specializing in vehicle sales and service. They offer state and safety inspections and general car repairs, including but not limited to brakes and rotors, tires, oil changes, batteries, starters, and alternators. They also offer vehicle undercoating prior to winter to help keep your vehicle protected. Currently, their hours are Monday through Wednesday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Thursday and Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call them today to schedule your next appointment at 814-230-9061. Your safety is their goal.
Hi, this is Ryan Klein, the host of the new pop culture podcast, Me, Myself, and Ryan. You can find me on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and several other platforms. Special guests, breakaway shows, bonus episodes, cold beers, and a whole lot more. So what are you guys and gals waiting for? Subscribe now to the Me, Myself, and Ryan podcast on Spotify or wherever it is that you get your shows and start listening today.
My Hive, Joe's very own world of sports.
My Hive is presented by Blue Line Auto. For all your automotive needs, call Blue Line Auto, 814-230-9061, or stop in 1606 Pennsylvania Avenue East in Warren. So this is the constructive criticism segment, right? Is that what we decided it's going to be?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so Darren, because Moon took a timeout, I don't know where he's at. I'll add him back when he's back in his camera. But tell us your thoughts. You've kind of been around since the beginning, haven't
you? Yeah. I mean, I've been around since you started the podcast, but I haven't really regularly been watching about the last 2-3 months or so. Okay,
so when we went to video, probably mostly, right?
Yeah. I mean, I used to listen on Spotify when I could, but yeah, I regularly try to be here every Thursday now.
We like that. You've helped us out a lot, so we actually appreciate you because you've given us a lot of statistical information that we were missing out on that, we don't know everything. We don't know a lot.
No problem.
We don't know most things.
We don't know most things.
Contributing, yeah.
And it's funny too, because like now I do feel like sometimes when I like see people, they'll be like, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And they'll throw a sports topic to me, and I'm like, I don't have all the answers. Like I just have my opinions, and sometimes if I don't know a lot about it, I really don't have an opinion.
Let me check my notes.
Yeah. I don't carry a notebook with me. And in fact, most of the time I'm scrambling like the few hours before the show to get everything I need to write down. Because I just, it's just time. It's the way time goes. Hunter's back.
That's one of our next season deals. A little more organization.
Being more prepared.
Yeah.
I'm going to write down some goals, okay? I got a notebook here.
Be prepared.
1, be prepared. Okay. Darren, continue on. More thoughts. What do you think? What can we do better?
What can you do better? Well, I said it in your comment section, double luge. We need to get some more conversation going on about that.
That's not going to happen.
I mean, the photo that you shared clearly showed Pyongyang on their chests. So that's the only information I went off of when I made the comment.
What did it say?
It said Pyongyang, where the 2018 Winter Olympics were.
Oh, I didn't watch it then. I didn't watch it this year. Is it still going on?
Sure. All I know is I read one article about double luge that was 2 guys from Germany, both named Tobias, won gold, and they barely beat out 2 other guys from Germany. So
were they both named the same thing too?
I don't think so. I don't know if that's a rule for them or what.
So, all right, but so besides double luge though, what else? Like, what's your favorite segment? Do you have one?
Yeah, I like the opening because I mean, you guys just kind of spitball what you got on your heads, and it's just a lot of free thinking.
Yeah. Okay, I'm with that. Opening is always kind of our biggest. That and this segment, honestly, the two at the front end and the back end are kind of the most like we just kind of wing it. And sometimes we get like a good topic to discuss in my hive, so it's based around one thing, and then openings always just like current events and kind of and that was something too that we like me and Sketty had discussed recently is just talking more freely rather than like everything being topic based. You know what I mean? Hold on, I gotta get this comment up here.
I was laughing. Andy's still scared to come actually talk to me. He can't handle the shit talk.
Dealing with a sick kid, so can't join. But fuck Sketty. Niners suck. Go Giants.
I think Andy is my number one fan. He literally tunes in to listen to me. That's the only thing I can come up with.
And that's what I like that it's not safe. Like the takes can't be safe. If everything's safe, then you got to have people who disagree with you and want to discuss. That's the point of talking sports, right? Like I'm not saying, we rarely we're not like Skip and Shannon who just I think in real life want to kill each other. But I just don't. You got to make some broad predictions and bold prediction, that kind of you got to do that kind of stuff to keep it interesting, or else what's the point? I don't want to be just sitting here reporting. We're not just reporting news. I'm not Tom Brokaw. I want to discuss and give opinion.
Yeah.
I wrote that on my page. My page review. It was a place for us to all make bad takes and lose money betting together.
You wrote that down?
Yeah, it was in my review for the page on Facebook.
I like that.
I do too. Yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. So Moon, your thoughts. I know you're gonna be part of our team meeting because we're gonna talk about getting some.
Sketty, I'll be the official beverage sponsor. How do you like that one, huh?
Hey, my kind of guy, Moon.
So that's
the fuck cart jersey for that.
You still got to get that jersey.
Yeah.
I might order it myself if he's buying beers.
So that is something that's going to be in the team meeting, though, is Paul wants to do some stuff with beverages, which we like beverages. So I have no problem with that. I know that we discussed the John Deere can that's coming out, the Busch Light John Deere can, and some other stuff. So, yeah, we're gonna get into – and if we get more Busch Light incorporated in this show, then I'm going to be a happier host.
Hey,
absolutely.
I got that sign machine. It makes nice banners. It could be nice backdrops for everybody. it doesn't print 49er logos. I don't have access to the NFL stuff. So, but
don't worry, I got plenty of those myself, Moon.
You don't like my this doesn't bring back some memories for you here, Moon?
My dad would cook steaks there when Frank was getting old and couldn't see. My dad would just come in and, you mind if we eat? Oh yeah, I knew where everything was at. You know, it was a good time.
This was a good find, and actually, Jeff Doherty's the one who we were working one day, and we were up on the parking garage. And if you're up on the parking garage and you look at the back of Busy Bee, there's like some welded on letters that say Busy Bee on the railing. And I was like, dude, that'd be cool if I could have those somehow. So JD knows all those guys, Christie's, who is, the owners now. And he found out where these signs were, because there's obviously two of them, because it was the fluorescent big sign out front. And one day I came home and they were in my garage. I didn't even know he was doing it. He went and found them, pulled them out. They gave them to him. He brought them, and I had to flatten them. I had to cut the sides down and everything. But I have one, and I gave my dad the other one, which you used to be able to see from your back porch there, man.
Right, exactly. And my brother got the big mirror, the Busy Bee with the bee and the martini glass.
I don't think I ever went in there when it was Busy Bee, because I don't think I was old enough.
Yeah.
When did they? I don't remember when they became
Christians. Sopranos in there,
I heard it was kind of like that though. So, Hunter, you're muted. There you go. What are your thoughts? Pros and cons of the show. What can we add, do less of, do more of?
I think that it needs to be an hour.
And we're already aware that people are sick of dealing with Sketty, so you don't have to say that.
No. I want an hour of this Getty talking shit. That's all I'm going to bless my night with every Thursday. Is just listening to this Getty talk shit. He could be drunk or sober, preferably drunk. But that's all I want. I just want an hour of just Sketty shit talk. That's it.
It could be Sketty's face on a shit meatball on a plate of Sketty.
I wonder if we could do that.
I love the graphic, and that ties into the name Sketty on Sports.
We're gonna have a stat department. We're gonna have a graphics department. It's gonna be great. I can't wait for the second season.
I love it. No, we actually had like Joe Pellegrino and Craig Bennett when they used to come over here, and we'd be getting drunk watching sports. Like I would just be spouting nonsense about why Tom Brady's not the GOAT or something stupid like that, and they would just get so pissed. And just be like, what the fuck?
It's about why Tom Brady is.
Yeah, well, they just love it. They'd be like, what the fuck? You need a podcast. People would listen to you just be an idiot for an hour. So I don't need an hour. I got 5 minutes. I'm good. I can do a Sketty on Sports, be an idiot for 5 minutes. Hot take of the week.
Maybe we will do something. We do need to do something like that. I like that
meatball on a plate of Sketty. I like that.
2.
I like
Sketty on Sports.
I like that you guys incorporate, the viewers and you put the comments up. I think you guys do a good job. I mean, the only thing I would change is you being a fucking Bills fan. That's about it.
I think
you could possibly change about the show that would make it any better. No fucking Bills shit ever again. That'd be great.
Now that you say that, I think I'll put more Bills stuff up. Like I get rid of this, and I can add something different.
Hey, my Bills jersey is officially in the mail. I just sucked it up and bought my own so I can honor our bet because I literally couldn't find a single friend to give me a Bills jersey. So I bought.
Did you at least get a Chinese one?
Yes, it's going to be all Chinese.
Terry asked, are we going to do any college football? We did do college football throughout the year, Terry. I think you kind of came on late as far as watching went because you found out when Terry I play Call of Duty with, it's a lot of fun. But he, so I told him about it on there. So I think you kind of came on late because we did do a lot of college football talk in the opening segments throughout the season. We did I think we went over the top 10 each week, didn't we?
Just about.
And then we did
every week.
Talked about some of the bowl games that were, the bigger bowl games and all that stuff. So we do go over that. I know you're a Sooners fan, so yeah, we'll get some we'll get some college football. We'll be back around in August, and we'll be getting back on track with that. But it's going to be kind of wide open when we kick the show back off because nobody knows what the fuck's going on with baseball. We do have the USFL though.
Yep.
Which everybody's got to pick a team. We got to put a post up, and everybody's got to pick. You have to do it before the season starts. There's no waiting till you get a 20-year franchise quarterback to pick your favorite football team. Okay, so
I couldn't tell if you were talking to Moon or if you were talking to Hunter on that one.
Moon, I can say, has been he's been a Rams guy his whole as long as I've known him.
I know he has. I know he has.
And I know Hunter has been a Patriots fan for as long as I've known him too, but I didn't know Hunter pre-Tom Brady. I can say that.
Well, I mean, Christ, the dude's been in the league as fucking long as I've been on this earth, so I really don't have much of a choice.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I feel like I was gonna say Darren's probably flying under the radar here. He probably got on the Peyton Manning bandwagon.
Yeah, that was the thing. I grew up very spoiled with Peyton Manning, and now I'm not so spoiled anymore.
Yeah, but you're sticking with it.
Our age, it was either Tom or Peyton Manning, pick one. There you go.
Yep.
There you go.
I'll be rooting for my buddy Jeff Fisher.
Hey.
Clean shaven Moon in that photo too.
Oh, well, that was a lifetime ago,
when he was relevant.
Right.
No, was that 2 Super Bowl wins ago for you?
Right, yeah.
Is Jeff Fisher coaching in the USFL?
I believe so.
I think he is.
Michigan team or
yeah.
I found it right. Yeah, so we definitely need to do something so everybody can declare their squad and
probably going to do fan rants for that.
Jeff Fisher.
So let me pull up real quick some of the comments because we did put a post up about this. So I do want to put that out there for other thoughts people had. If it'll load, where's that? Out there. Oop. There we go. So Hunter did go on about the Sketty thing. Kimmy Burkholder, love the things that sting segment. Pretty excited that you now have a soundboard. So funny story about the soundboard. I had to get a new one today because that one that I had is like, now they want to charge me like $30 a month for it. I'm like, you fucking kidding me? $30. We'll hire another guy and he'll just be the sound effects guy and he can just sit in the corner with a mic and I'll like give him a sign and $30 a month. You shitting me?
You're trying to run your podcast on free trials here, man.
Exactly. We pay for StreamYard. StreamYard we do pay for because there's different packages. There is a free version of this that we're on right now, but like it's $25 a month, and that's gives you a better package, more storage, and that kind of thing. So I think it's worth it. And this was all stuff that Matt Ramage taught me, who was on earlier. He's helped out a ton with some of this stuff because, like I said, we went from I had a little tripod microphone. And I set it right here on this red counter and my laptop next to it. And the first however many episodes were done that way. And I would be like 10 minutes into a segment and I would screw something up. I'd say something wrong. And instead of correcting myself, I'd hit stop, delete, and I would start over. It was the most miserable learning experience of my life, I think. Because it was just, and if those episodes,
back in the good old days.
Yeah, and it's just funny how it's grown. To me, like how it's progressed. I really had and I think I even said that in the first episode. Like I have no real goal or end game here, and it was just I just always wanted my own sports show. I didn't know if people would listen to it or what, and now our videos are getting 250, 300 views. The downloads from the audio that some people prefer just to listen to the audio. I know a lot of guys who do that, and we're getting another 50 to 75 of those. So that's a lot more people than I had initially imagined. And hopefully we can continue to grow and, get more people to listen to us and join in. I like Hunter said, I love when the comments are like piling up. I love that. That makes it a lot more fun for us.
Yeah, the fan interaction is huge.
Don't forget about us.
What's that, Hunter?
I said, when you're on Sports Center every morning at 7 a.m., don't forget about us.
I'll never work. I will never work for ESPN.
You don't want to work for Disney?
Do you think ESPN would want a police officer working for him?
Yeah. Your co-host would be Colin Kaepernick, though, so I don't know if you two could get along.
That's the new Skip and Shannon.
I'd have to work for Fox Sports with Skip.
Yeah, I don't foresee any of that happening, but B, like, it's just never going to I would never work for ESPN. I can't stand that. If it wasn't for live sports being broadcasted on their channels, I would never watch ESPN. I love Good Morning Football. That's one of my favorite shows, if people were wondering. They got a good crew, and I think the way they mix it up and do their segments, I think it's a pretty good show. And NFL is like one of my favorites, obviously. Like, I don't watch NHL. We do need a hockey guy or girl.
We do.
I've got hockey jerseys. that was something. You guys never talk about hockey.
Yeah, but you can't do that. You're a Caps fan. It's terrible.
Hey, look for me. I'm going to be on the glass for the Avalanche and Sabres this weekend.
Do the Sabres still get televised?
Yeah. On
you're going to be surrounded by
Channel 11.
So funny. I know
rabbit ears.
I've told this story before on here. I know I have, but I used to be a Colorado Avalanche fan when I was younger. I really liked Joe Sakic was my favorite player. I had their home and away sweater. Like, I was a fan, and then I kind of quit on them. Well, I did quit on them. And once I quit on them, years later they got good again, and I just felt like wrong going back. You can't go back, right?
Yep.
So I just have to, like, I cheer for them silently, but I cannot call myself a fan because I quit on them. And if I didn't quit on the Bills, it's amazing that I quit on them because the Avalanche were actually good. I watched them win, 2 or 3 Stanley Cups.
Pierre, we may or may not be painting our chests.
Oh, geez. Now I'm going to tune in.
You better lay it on thick if it's going to get through that sweater you have on when you take your shirt off.
It's going to be spray paint. They're going to have to spray paint it.
You get you some hedge clippers, and then it'll stick better.
Well, the winter coat's going to be falling off here shortly, and I'll start.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, it comes in fluffier.
So more on Kimmy's comment. Kimmy said that she agrees with my mom loves the sports history segment, so I don't think I can ever do away with that because I don't want to piss off mom. Right? Nobody faulting me here for that.
You met my mom. Nope. I don't fault you.
Hunter, I definitely don't blame you. And the last comment, Jan Garrett said, move on to college basketball and then baseball. That's the natural progression of the show. And actually, I got really into the tournament last year, and I've been watching quite a bit of college basketball this season. We just haven't talked about it yet because NFL. But so I will be ready to talk some college hoops once we return from our month off. But any other thoughts? Anything?
Yeah, I'll be your college football guy.
We could use that. So we have a hockey guy, we have a college football guy, we have a beer guy.
Sometimes listening to you try to talk college football is a struggle for me.
I don't have a favorite team. That's why I have no allegiance, and it bothers you.
Or that's why I don't dig in your ass, outside the show. But
I didn't understand what'd you say?
I said I know you don't follow it like super hardcore. That's why I don't dig in your ass about.
Well, no, I do follow it. I mean, I pay pretty close attention to college football. I just don't have a favorite team.
Pick one. SMU. There you go.
I can't cheer for a team that got the death penalty. go against my other job would start looking at me, wondering why I'm. No, I mean, if I had to, like, gun to my head, I would pick Penn State.
Respectable.
But that's just because the area. I watch a lot of their games, but I don't know. I watch a lot of SEC. I really like the SEC. I think, I just like watching players who I know are going to be coming up into the NFL. That's more, betting and the draft are the two reasons I pay attention to college football.
All right, guys, I got to head out.
Darren, thanks for joining.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys.
See you, man.
Enjoy your break. See ya.
We had a comment to throw up here. You could have more with less 49ers talk.
I'm sorry, Terry, that we have to talk about the relevant teams in the league. Steelers don't make the cut, bud. I don't know what to tell you.
All right. Well, anything else anybody wants to share before we close this down?
Did you bring up local sports? Because I think I've heard comments people like when we do the local stuff a little bit more.
Yeah, I think that's something that we're gonna definitely address moving into, because we did have like Mo on talking about his new gig as the baseball coach, and yeah, I would like to get into, get some of the high school stuff going, and
It'd be cool those seasons.
What's that?
It would be cool to follow like most seasons now that he's been on the show.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, I always try. Like, I haven't been to a game in a couple years, but I always look to see how the local teams are doing. Like, I try to keep up with the scores and specifically baseball, because I've known so many people who have been involved in that program, recently, especially. But yeah, I would like to do more with that. Some of the football coaches in the fall, get them on to talk about, random stuff. And so I think that's a good idea, Sketty, that we do approach it that way and get a bigger fan base here. And then when we're turning down contracts from ESPN, we can truly say we aren't sellouts.
I like it.
Moon, any closing thoughts? You look like you're just dying to say something.
No, just I like the local thing, because the other thing is when there's no sports going on, there's lots of great Warren sports stories, like somebody that was good back in the day, or just the rich history that Warren has with sports, like with the Red Jackets and all that kind of stuff, and it's some really cool things that you wouldn't really think that a small community like Warren would have. But I'd like to see some of those stories too. And I think the local thing is going to be big, and that's where bringing in like Hagberg and stuff like that. I think you guys could mutually benefit off of each other too, and especially building up that local fan base, and then growing kind of regionally, and maybe some stuff with the D9 and the D10, and then sky's the limit, really.
Yeah, I think that one of the things that I didn't probably approach correctly in season one, like if I could go backwards and one thing I could do different, it would be target audience, and making that target audience here first. And then, because I gave, you remember when I had the koozies made up, which was, God, I don't know how long ago that was now. But when I got the koozies made up, I sent a bunch up to the Mazzacos, Mark and Mike in Erie, to set on their bar and let people have them. And I don't know if that ever got us a listener or a follower or anything, and why would Erie people who have never heard of us, why would they care to listen to us necessarily? I do have obviously some friends who are in Erie that listen, Lass, Andy, Cowboy, all those guys, who I know and love sports. They're interested. They listen. I talk with them a lot, but yeah, to just go out and try and make somebody who doesn't know us pay attention would be difficult. And I didn't really look at that perspective of it from the get-go.
Well, and I don't know how technical it is for the equipment and things like that, but even following that local theme, like, a couple of times a year, quarterly, like go into the draft house or go into Snuffy's and do it like a live broadcast, if you will, and have people coming and going. I think that would be something pretty cool too.
Yeah, I think some satellite broadcasts would be really cool.
Yeah.
We'd already kind of discussed doing something like that with the country club this summer.
Yeah, so
thing, but I like that idea. As long as you have Wi-Fi, we can do the podcast.
Right. So
from anywhere.
We have a plan, Moon, for this summer, and it's going to take quite a bit of preparation, figuring it all out, making sure it can happen. But I got Pooh Bear, David Rounds. He's going to be like the announcer essentially, and we're going to do like Capital One the match, but it's going to be Beehive Sports Podcast the match, and it's going to be me versus Sketty, handicapped, obviously, and we're going to do the Donald Ross 9 at Conowongo and have it live broadcasted. I think we can get the camera set up. We can take breaks while we're traveling to each tee box, to each shot, and Pooh would be able to do the announcing. We can put scores up with the banners.
He reminds me of a young Roger Maltby.
Pooh does?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people don't know it, but Pooh is like the voice guy. Like intro to the segments, a lot of people don't know that, but that's who that is. He was so happy to do it, and I'm thankful for him. He helped out a lot. Another quick shout out, Dom Schwanke, the original Beehive profile picture, me with the bees all over my face. That was Dom. Like, Dom helped me out with that. So there's been a lot of people along the way who have like contributed, whether it be big or small, to just get it going. So like, there's, it's been pretty awesome. But yeah, I don't know. I've enjoyed it. But anyways, back to the match. I think this is a really good idea. And if we can make this, like, if we can pull this off, it'd just be really cool to do. Like a live broadcasted 9-hole golf match between me and Sketty. How many strokes do I get? What's your handicap? 2?
It's like, 2 at the club right now. But we'll figure something out.
So I get a stroke a hole?
No, that's not going to work. We're going to have to figure something out. We got to figure something. I think we got to throw a little bit of charity in there somehow. We got to.
Well, yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah, it's going to be for something.
We got to find our cause.
And Maddie Garrett too texts me and goes, "When's the Beehive open?" And I was like, "Holy shit!" Like now, that would be cool to do something like a golf tournament of some kind. But scrambles are being so saturated now, so it's kind of like I feel like we would need to do something different.
Here's a question I have though: if we do something like that, and Hunter and Moon, feel free to throw in. Like, I feel like if we do it, we almost shouldn't play in it. Like, we should be at a booth someplace or driving around whatever course, interviewing the teams rather than out there playing.
If we did a Beehive Open?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Out there and
we can't play in it.
What you do is you both set. Go ahead, Hunter.
I said you guys can do a live broadcast of trying to find the ball I shanked 300 yards into the woods.
300 yards?
That slice is brutal.
If you could slice the ball 300 yards, you should just face to the left and let her rip.
Then I hit
because
I'm trying.
Keep your head down. Watch the ball.
Yeah.
Damn ball swing, I tell you.
Moon, what were you gonna say?
I've been to like some charity tournaments and stuff like that where they'll like just pick a hole and like you guys would play on that hole with every foursome that comes through, and at some point you might actually even get good on that hole because you're gonna be there all day.
Well, if that's the case, we're playing number 8 at the club.
All right.
Because it's been 3 years and I still fuck that hole up every time. I can't figure it out.
Yeah. Well,
even when I have a good one off the tee box, the next one goes left or goes right. So
I can't afford to play number 8 that many times in a day.
that's a good
Balls
point.
are too expensive, man.
We'd have to go get a bucket of those shitty refurbished ones from Dunham's.
Yep.
Oh, John Shimeni
Yeah.
set you up with some.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, I think that's good. I kind of like what Moon said too about like getting people from Warren, not necessarily stories just now from Warren, but like I'm thinking of what was the Curran that was good at Barron.
James. Yeah, James.
James, yeah. So like maybe reach out to him or a Bowen or people like that. Something that's come from Warren.
Who was the old football player who was real good? O'Neill?
Yeah, O'Neill.
Yeah.
And I met him at the Cancer Society tournament at the club 2 years ago. His story's insane. He'd be a good one to have on. Who was the other one that I had just in the tip of my tongue just now that I was like, oh, they'd be a good story?
You call Hank Morrison.
Hank, yeah. And another one, we'll get Connor Gray. Connor's from Frewsburg. He's pitching in the Mets farm system right now. It's my coworker's younger brother. I know he's already willing to come on. We just have to kind of pick a time and let that transpire. So that'd be cool. He's going to be, it sounds like, opening at AAA this year. So that's kind of a big deal I know it's New York, Frewsburg, right across the border. So he's not far from here. Plus, kind of home to me because he's Kyle's brother. So he's another one. Yeah. But yeah, locally. George Elijah.
Yeah.
George and my aunt works with him, and she told me already that he'd be more than happy to come on and tell his story about playing for the Browns. And
the Rams. He was a Ram.
Yep, he's a Ram. Yep.
The Rams? Which city were they playing in at that time, Moon?
L.A.
They're the Super Bowl champs, but I got to take my digs when I can, right?
Right, exactly.
I'd still like to get. I told you, Joe Nelson. This is like quiet. I don't even know the story, but like Joe Nelson just got inducted to the Penn State Barron Hall of Fame for golf.
Really?
And Joe's a humble kid, so he might not want to come on and talk about it. But like he was telling me they cleaned up their basement, and he's like, "Yeah, I had to throw all these golf trophies away. I only kept like these 10 or whatever, but these other ones were just cluttering stuff up." And I'm like, "What do you mean you had to throw away? Like how many golf trophies? I don't know, 30, 40 trophies you got to throw away? Like from what show? Like apparently he won a bunch of stuff. No idea."
Jason too. My cousin Jason played D1 basketball, so he'd be a good one to have on. He played at Rutgers and Radford. Yeah. So yeah, it's just all stuff we're going to toss around at the staff meeting that we're going to have, which is going to be an all-day event. We just haven't picked the date yet. It's going to be before March 17th. I know that. And yeah, we're just going to try and get everything in order for season 2. So
I have a special request for one special guest.
What's that?
I want to see Mo on the show.
Mo Preston?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he'd do it. They are playing the 4th of July celebration at Betts Park this year. Small Town Revolution's playing at that.
Solid.
He texted me and told me that already because he's going to wear a Beehive Sports Podcast shirt on stage while they're playing.
Solid.
Yeah. So I'm sure we can get him on prior to the 4th so he can kind of advertise his band that's going to, because they're good. They are really good. I don't know if you've ever seen them before, but I've seen them. I don't even know how. I sang with them once.
Yeah, I've seen him up at when I went out to make a wish and stuff.
I sang with him at Doc Holliday's "Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy" because me and Mo used to karaoke that song all the time. So it was fun, from what I recall. Which isn't a whole lot. There's video evidence somewhere.
Oh, I gotta find that.
Mo probably has it. I'm sure he can guide you in the right direction.
I'm asking.
So,
I got some breaking news here for Moon. Aaron Donald says, "Sign OBJ, Vaughn, and I'm back." So if they bring everyone back, he won't retire.
He's saying I'm not going to take less money to help sign those guys, but you figure out a way to do it.
Right.
and I'll be back.
He says if
That's a tough deal.
he'll be ready to return if we bring everybody back.
That's a tough deal.
That's what I heard.
Do you risk that?
But
What do you think? Do
I
you
don't know.
risk that?
OBJ's got a torn whatever it was, ACL, MCL. Yeah, what do you do, man?
A non.
I mean, I don't even think he's going to see the field again.
I mean,
he's going to be out till at least middle of the season, you would think. So maybe they can get him for a cheap 1-year deal,
like a veteran's
which
minimum.
helps you out there. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
What about Vaughn?
I mean, they pretty much need Whitworth to retire. I mean, there's like 17 million there, and
he did say that's going to happen. It sounded like.
Yeah.
So why re-sign those guys when you could just replace them with your 2 5th-round picks? Is my question. I don't understand why. You could use.
Is it worth signing OBJ and Von Miller to keep AD?
I would say so. AD's
Yeah, he's
fucking good.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah.
Just say
Well,
fuck-
I mean, OBJ found a home there too. I mean, he was definitely looking back in old form and in the later end games of the season. But yeah, he's not going to be ready to go week 1 though. So what kind of contract do you give him or promise him later? I mean,
Well,
I just don't.
He said, "I'll take a discount to stay in LA," and I'm like, "Dude, you're broke. Like, you're taking a discount anyway."
He's going to have to take a discount because he's not going to be playing a full season.
You're going to play what, 6 games, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
we got incoming Browns fan comments. I love it. Yeah. Did you see like the memes about Baker Mayfield watching OBJ in the Super Bowl? It was just classic.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm glad that we got some Browns fans sharing their. See, this is where you can do that. You come here to unleash, and you can use whatever colorful language you want. Like nobody cares. Which Moon? What do you think about this? Do you think because we don't censor ourselves that maybe the high school sports will want to be distanced from us a little bit?
We can clean it up for that segment.
Well, I mean, I would say definitely do that. Yeah, I mean, I had Charlie Anderson and Ryan Wellner's kids on when they won the Super Bowl for the NFL Play 60 League. Like, I wasn't using my normal speech then. Like, I get that, but do you think overall in general people would think that there might be an issue there? Because I have no plan on I can't in good faith not be myself on the show. And myself is I swear a lot, and it's just how I talk. It's not meant to offend anybody or make me
my favorite adjective when I'm talking about the 49ers.
Right, yeah. So I just
mine too, dude.
So I'm just wondering if that's ever I have pondered if we're ever going to run into that as a problem where somebody's going to be like, yeah, we wanted to sponsor you, but it's too vulgar.
Go sit in the very top bleacher at War Memorial Field and listen to the guys on the headset. And you tell me if you think that your colorful language.
Yeah, I mean that's a little different though, because there's nobody paying them, putting their brand on them to promote. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. I'm not saying that I'm the only person in the world that swears. I know that, but it's just something I've thought about. I wonder if that's ever going to be an issue for us, because I would, respectfully have to tell that person it's not going to change. It's just.
I thought you respectfully tell them to fuck off.
Yeah.
I mean,
this isn't fucking ESPN,
right? Yeah, exactly. I mean, it probably would. It would be a respectfully fuck off. But I wouldn't probably say that to them. I don't want to insult anybody, but I'm not going to change the way you and I operate or tell you hey man, cool it down. We know when we have to turn it off. If we have the Play 60 kids again, if we get Nate the Great on next in season 2, which I'm hoping to do. We know when to turn it off, but at the same time, some people might look at the bigger, the whole show, not just that segment that they're featured on or something.
You just give them the Ricky Bobby with all due respect.
Right. And then you can say whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's my favorite line in that whole movie, I'm pretty sure. With all due respect. Just because you said with all due respect doesn't mean you can insult me afterwards.
Right.
But yeah, so
to steal from another movie, you could just say earmuffs.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, tell people earmuffs.
Earmuffs.
Well, I know like when Brian Hagberg, like when because they promote, which we're going to redo that, 3, writing that down, 3 new commercial. Because Sketty didn't even know we had a commercial, which
I was unaware.
Yeah. So we have a commercial. I have 2 of them actually, because I made one. Okay, so this is actually a good story. I sent it to Brian Hagberg first because he was like, as close to 30 seconds as possible. And he kind of guided me like, this is the stuff you want to put. I've never recorded a commercial before. So, excuse me, he gave, the nuts and bolts of what I should put in it. So I did it. And I said, like, the intro to the commercial goes, "Hi, this is Joe Bees, the host of the Beehive Sports Podcast. Do you love uncensored looks into all things sports? If you said fuck yeah, then this is the place for you." But I took the soundboard and put the beep over when I said fuck, so you couldn't hear it. And I sent that to him first, and he was like, "Dude, I'm playing this at like commercial breaks for Little League games." So then I had the other one done too, like the clean normal one, and I sent that to him immediately. I was like, dude, it was a joke. Like, but so we do have a commercial, but when Brian promotes our commercial, like he always says, because he comes back to the live broadcast when they're doing games, and he shouts out each sponsor that they just played a commercial for, and he always says, "It is uncensored. If you're listening to it at work, you might want to put some headphones on." Like he says stuff like that. But Brian also has never been like, maybe you should tone down the swearing. So if Brian's on board, I feel like we could, because he's like news guy. So I'm not saying he's like thinks we're bad people like Brian swears in a normal conversation you're having with him, but he's also running a clean operation of local media.
Yeah, we don't have to be HBO or Showtime. We could still be like TNT or USA.
Comedy Central after 11.
Moon was wearing clothes tonight. We're fine.
Yeah.
We were fine.
I thought you were going to wear the Dicks Out for Harambe shirt.
Well, it's in the wash, actually. I couldn't find it.
From all that
I got this hanging up all the time.
That is pretty... I do love the fact that you own a Ric Flair freaking robe.
I expect nothing less.
That's funny.
I thought we'd at least get like the Borat bathing suit underneath it, Moon. I'm a little.
Hey, it's too warm today.
That's true.
Darren said he had to go, and now he's in the comments. Can't get enough of us. I love that kid. So new commercial. We're gonna do that. Yeah, just different things. So I guess we can wrap this up. I mean, we're kind of just backpedaling a little bit to some degree, but no, thank you guys for coming on. Moon, you're our first ever Fan Rant champion. I feel like we should get you something for that, like a trophy. Right. I would say I get you a case of beer, but you own an entire beer distributor, so that would.
I'll bring you a fish fry.
Hey,
all right. Hey,
Moon, if you're smart, you'll ask them for unlimited chocolate milk card to be able to use.
You're going to be in luck because we have some product that's a little expired, so it's going to be Paul's Lenten special. It's going to be like $10 cases of beer for fish fry batter. So I'll talk to you.
All right, perfect.
Bartering. I like that. We can barter. But yeah, thank you guys. Hunter, thanks for coming on.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you soon.
Yep. Thanks, Moon.
See ya.
See ya.
Thanks a lot, Joe.
Yeah. I don't think so. I don't know. I still haven't heard from him. But
is that a shot at me, Joe? What the hell? I'm a little offended right now.
I don't know.
Kylie during baseball season.
Oh, it definitely would be for both of our sakes. I hope, maybe we
Yep.
can get him. I hope we can get him to come on for some baseball talk because he actually I don't think I know anybody who could rattle off more baseball stuff off the top of their head than he can. He loves Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
Like I like Major League Baseball a lot, but he can name rotations of teams and stuff.
Yeah, I'm going to have to be digging in.
We both are to some degree. But that's again, like I said, in the future, we don't have to run down everything. You know what I mean? Like we can pick specific topics about what's going on in the league. And I know I used Pardon My Take as an example. Like I don't want to mimic everything they're doing, but I do think I like how they zero in on specific things. Like they don't keep it like this broad, huge, let's go over everything that's going on in the NFL. Let's go over everything that's going on in baseball. Like we don't have to do that. I know we did that this past week and gave our takes on games, and we can still do that slightly, but we can alter it a little bit. I think that, that's for the staff meeting.
Yeah.
Can you imagine after we have some beers too, the ideas we're going to have, they're going to be fucking brilliant.
I'm sure they're going to be amazing. We just got to make sure to write them all down.
We're taking note. We're both having notebooks and pens. Everything that comes out needs documented because otherwise, we may not.
Yeah.
Spro, clear in the air.
I feel better, Spro. Thank you.
All right. I guess that'll do it then. Season 1 in the books.
That's it.
Real quick, want to shout out everybody who's been a part of it. I know I threw some names out there already, but go through the I'll just say them again. Dom Schwanke from the get-go helped me out. Pooh Bear with the voiceovers that he still does, and he may be a bigger part here coming up if we get to do the match as planned, which I hope we can. Swing Juice, pretty cool. We've gotten a couple payments from them, from people who are going in and using our promo code. So we really appreciate everybody who goes there and does that. That helps us out because the plan is, which I don't want to ruin it, but Sketty is going to have his own little hub, kind of like I have here. Hopefully by the time we get fired back up, but we'll see.
Be pretty close. Might be a couple shows in the old place, but the new studio will be coming soon.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. So Napoli's, can't say enough good stuff about them, as we pretty much, I feel like we talk about them a lot every episode anyways, especially like last week was National Pizza Day. Your Daily Local, Brian and Andy, we want to obviously get with them too, kind of get the local aspect a little more involved in season 2. Jones Pest Control, the pioneer of TBSP sponsors, so we love them. Blue Line Auto, they jumped on late, but they're here to stay. I know they aren't going anywhere. That's my buddy and coworker Brian Golnack, has his hand in everything, it seems like, but he's really, really good with vehicles and all of that stuff. Anytime I have an issue that's like an emergency issue, that's who I call, because he's like Johnny on the spot with a lot of that shit. So Blue Line Auto has been great. Me, Myself, and Rye podcast, Ryan Klein, the guy who got me started, because he started his own podcast. If you haven't listened to it, if you like just podcasts in general, his is a pop culture podcast. It's really, really good. Try and listen in on that, available on Spotify. And he added his wife as a co-host, and it's a really good show. I actually do listen to that each week. Sometimes I get behind, I'll catch up, but they have a really, really good thing going there too. So I'm excited to see what he has in store in the future. But yeah, thank all of them. Everybody in the comments for the last, I think we're at the last 25 episodes or something have been live, right? No.
Ish.
20?
Close.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20. That is right around 30 was live, yeah.
Yeah. So we're at 48 technically is the season finale. But yeah, so just thank everybody who did that, who, chimed in, watched, took shots at us, all that good stuff. We love all of the comments. Like I said, it makes everything flow a lot better for us. So thank you again. I think that's going to be it. You got anything else?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Till next time.